Hadirin sekalian, sebelum majlis kita berlangsung, terdapat beberapa peringatan penting kepada semua pelajar. Pertama sekali, para pelajar diingatkan untuk mengimbas kod QR maklum balas yang akan diberikan pada setiap slot program dan juga kod QR kehadiran.
Suruh sendiri dulu. Ini tak payah letak atas. Jadi semua printer semua.
Hadirin yang dihormati, majlis akan bermula sebentar sahaja lagi. Bagi menghormati perjalanan majlis, diminta kerjasama daripada semua hadirin untuk memastikan mikrofon anda dimatikan atau ditutup sepanjang majlis berlangsung. Para hadirin juga digalakkan untuk membuka kamera sepanjang berlangsungnya majlis ini. Diharapkan anda semua dapat memberikan tumpuan sepenuhnya sepanjang program kita berlangsung. Kerjasama anda amatlah dihargai. Hadirin sekalian, sebelum majlis bermula, terdapat beberapa peringatan penting kepada semua pelajar. Pertama sekali, para pelajar diingatkan untuk mengimbas kod QR maklum balas yang akan diberikan pada penghujung setiap slot program dan juga kod QR kehadiran.
Sebab tu kita orang ni suruh cari alasan untuk berapa banyak pun tak ada. Dia mana dah
Bye-bye.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hadirin yang dihormati, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam UiTM di hatiku. Yang berusaha Dr. Muhammad Nizam Yunus, Dekan Hal Ehwal Pelajar, Kolej Pengajian Perkomputeran Informatik dan Matematik, KPPIM. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Teknologis Dr. Nur Atikah Sia Abdullah, Dekan Jaringan Industri, Komuniti dan Alumni, KPPIM. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Syamila Muhammad Syuhidan, Dekan Penyelidikan dan Inovasi KPPIM. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Dr. Nur Syahniza Kamal, Ketua Pengajian Sains Perkomputeran. Yang berusaha Profesor Madya Teknologis Dr. Ahmad Ziaul Taufi Muhammad Japeri, Ketua Pengajian Perkomputeran Informatik dan Matematik.
Voice missing?
Yang berusaha, Profesor Madya Teknologis Dr. Ahmad Ziaul Taufi Muhammad Japeri, Ketua Pengajian Sains Matematik. Yang berusaha, Dr. Husain Hashim, Ketua Pengajian Sains Maklumat. Yang berusaha, Dr. Azhar Ramli, Ketua Kepimpinan dan Pembangunan Pelajar. Yang berusaha, Dr. Suzana Ahmad, Ketua Kesejahteraan dan Kebajikan Pelajar. Yang berusaha, Dr. Jafalizan Mat Dali, Koordinator Ketampakan dan Kelestarian. Yang berusaha, Dr. Yuzi Mahmud, Koordinator Kesatuan Pelajar. Cik Sharifah Filza Said Muhammad Fadlan, Co-Lead Global #Ambassadors Program 2025 dan Global Maybank Apprentice. Cik Nadirah binti Syaiful Bahari, Co-Lead Global #Ambassadors Program 2025 dan Group Human Capital. Cik Aisyah Ahmad Firdaus, Global Maybank Apprentice. Cik Khaireen Sara Adila Khir Johari, Global Maybank Apprentice. Encik Muhammad Naufal Abdul Kadir, Resourcing Specialist. Sekretariat Mahasiswa Kolej Pengajian SMKP KPPIM serta semua mahasiswa-mahasiswi yang dikasihi sekalian.
Para hadirin diminta bersedia untuk menyanyikan lagu Negaraku dan Wawasan Setia Warga UiTM.
Kita jangan mudah terleka.
Bagi memberkati majlis kita pada hari ini, saya ingin menjemput Saudara Muhammad Ashraf Daniel bin Muhammad Nasir bagi memimpin bacaan doa. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan.
Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya Karim, ya Wadud, sesungguhnya pada pagi yang penuh keberkatan ini, kami berhimpun secara dalam talian bagi menyatakan kesyukuran kami dan menjayakan program Enhanced Leadership and Effective Communication Skills for Global Talent by Maybank. Justeru dengan itu, ya Allah, Kau rahmatilah program ini, berkatilah ia, kurniakanlah kepada kami kefahaman ilmu, senanglah hati kami dengan cahaya hidayah-Mu. Semoga ilmu yang diperoleh dapat kami hayati dan amalkan dalam kehidupan demi kebaikan diri, masyarakat dan ummah. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, jika ada di kalangan kami pada hari ini yang diuji dengan kesusahan, maka Kau bantulah dia. Jika ada di kalangan kami yang diuji dengan kesakitan, maka Kau sembuhkanlah dia. Jika ada di kalangan kami yang diuji dengan kesedihan, maka Kau kabarkanlah berita gembira buatnya. Jika ada di kalangan kami yang diuji dengan kesempitan, maka Kau lapangkanlah dia. Sesungguhnya Engkaulah Tuhan yang Maha mendengar lagi Maha memakbulkan. Ya Allah, ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram, kurniakanlah kepada kami hati yang tenang, jiwa yang tenteram serta roh yang sentiasa mempunyai sifat syukur, sabar, ikhlas dan amanah dalam melakukan setiap pekerjaan. Kau jauhkanlah daripada kami sifat ujub, riak, takabur, fitnah, buruk sangka dan khianat. Sesungguhnya ia adalah penghalang kepada kami untuk menuju syurga-Mu. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Terima kasih diucapkan kepada Saudara Muhammad Ashraf Daniel bin Muhammad Nasir atas bacaan doa sebentar tadi. Semoga majlis kita pada hari ini diberkati, insya-Allah.
Hadirin sekalian, buat pengetahuan semua, program Enhanced Leadership and Effective Communication Skills for Global Talent by Maybank ini adalah anjuran Sekretariat Mahasiswa Kolej Pengajian SMKP KPPIM dengan kerjasama ICAN, KPPIM dan Maybank. Program ini diadakan untuk mempersiapkan mahasiswa memasuki industri serta meningkatkan kebolepasalan graduan. Program ini juga bertujuan melahirkan graduan yang berkualiti sejajar dengan matlamat UiTM serta memberi peluang kepada peserta untuk terpilih dalam Maybank Global #Mbassador Program.
Kini, majlis ingin menjemput Yang Berusaha Dr. Muhammad Nizam Yunus, Dekan Hal Ehwal Pelajar KPPIM untuk menyampaikan ucapan beliau sekaligus merasmikan majlis kita pada hari ini. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan.
Terima kasih pengacara majlis. Boleh dengar suara saya? Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hadirin yang dihormati, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam UiTM di hatiku. Yang Berusaha Profesor Madya Teknologis Dr. Nur Atika Sia Abdullah, Dekan Jaringan Industri, Komuniti dan Alumni, Barisan Eksekutif KPPIM, Barisan Pengurusan HEP KPPIM, Cik Sharifah Filzah Said Muhammad Fadlan, Kolid Global Ambassador Program 2025 dan juga Global Maybank Apprentice, Cik Nadirah binti Syaiful Bahari, Kolid Global Ambassadors Program 2025 dan Group Human Capital, Cik Aisyah Ahmad Firdaus, Global Maybank Apprentice, Cik Khaireen Sara Adila Khir Johari, Global Maybank Apprentice, Cik Muhammad Naufal Abdul Kadir, Resourcing Specialist, Sekretariat Mahasiswa Kolej Pengajian SMKP, KPPIM serta semua mahasiswi yang dikasihi sekalian. Alhamdulillah, segala puji bagi Allah SWT kerana dengan izinnya kita dapat berkumpul pada pagi ini dalam majlis perasmian program Enhanced Leadership and Effective Communication Skills for Global Talent by Maybank. Program ini dianjurkan oleh Sekretariat Mahasiswa Kolej Pengajian KPPIM dengan kerjasama pejabat jaringan industri, komuniti dan alumni serta Maybank. Ia bertujuan untuk mempersiapkan mahasiswa UiTM khususnya dari Kolej Pengajian Perkomputeran, Informatik dan Matematik dengan kemahiran kepimpinan dan komunikasi yang efektif sebagai persediaan untuk menghadapi cabaran dunia pekerjaan global. KPPIM sebagai kolej pengajian yang berfokus kepada bidang sains komputer, teknologi maklumat, informatik dan matematik sentiasa berusaha untuk melahirkan graduan yang kompeten dan berdaya saing. Program ini adalah salah satu inisiatif untuk memastikan para pelajar kita bukan sahaja mahir dalam bidang akademik tetapi juga dilengkapi dengan kemahiran insaniah yang diperlukan untuk berjaya di dalam kerjaya. Seperti yang kita ketahui, dunia pekerjaan hari ini memerlukan lebih daripada sekadar kelayakan akademik. Kemahiran kepimpinan dan komunikasi yang efektif adalah antara kunci utama untuk berjaya dalam persekitaran kerja yang kompetitif. Program ini menawarkan 3 slot utama yang akan merangkumi gambaran realistik tentang cabaran dunia pekerjaan, strategi untuk membangunkan kemahiran kepimpinan dan komunikasi, serta peluang untuk menyertai Maybank Global Ambassador Program. Para hadirin yang dikasihi, sebagai mahasiswa UiTM, anda semua adalah aset penting dalam membangunkan nama baik universiti ini. Saya berharap program ini dapat memberikan anda persediaan yang lengkap untuk menghadapi cabaran dunia pekerjaan dan seterusnya menjadi graduan yang berjaya. Bukan sahaja di peringkat nasional, malah di peringkat antarabangsa. Akhir kata, saya ingin mengucapkan tahniah kepada semua pihak yang terlibat dalam menganjurkan program ini, terutamanya Sekretariat Mahasiswa KPPIM, pejabat jaringan industri, komuniti dan alumni serta pihak Maybank. Semoga program ini dapat memberikan manfaat yang besar kepada semua peserta dan membantu meningkatkan kebolehpasaran graduan UiTM di pasaran kerja global. Bunga mawar harum di taman, warnanya merah memikat hati. Ilmu dicari sepanjang zaman, menjadi bekal hidup sejati. Maka dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya merasmikan program Enhanced Leadership and Effective Communication Skills for Global Talent by Maybank. Selamat maju jaya kepada semua peserta. Sekian, terima kasih. Wabillahi taufik wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Majlis mengucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Dr. Muhammad Nizam Yunus atas ucapan sebentar tadi.
Hadirin sekalian, majlis pada hari ini akan diteruskan dengan slot pertama yang bertajuk Reality Bites, The Challenges and What to Expect. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya menjemput Cik Aisyah binti Ahmad Firdaus, Global Maybank Apprentice, dan Cik Khaireen Sara Adila binti Khair Johari, Global Maybank Apprentice, untuk berkongsi pandangan dan pengalaman mereka.
Hello, good evening everyone. Good morning everyone. Okay, is everything good? Okay, terima kasih kepada pengerusi majlis. Okay, so hope everyone has settled down, had your breakfast. So first of all, thank you so much for participating and for joining us today for the Enhanced Leadership and Effective Communication Skills for global talent with Maybank. And I can promise you that this session will be very insightful and very fruitful. So I'm Aisha, as they've introduced earlier. I'm a global Maybank apprentice, and I'll be your moderator for 3 sessions today. So just a brief tentative overview. We will have 3 sessions with 3 very interesting speakers who will be covering different things. But don't worry, sit back and relax. It will be fun and chill. So also with me today, I have my team behind the scenes. They will be guiding you on the chat box throughout the sessions. Okay, so before we start, are all of you in the lecture theatre together, or is everyone just connected through Zoom? Anyone can answer me?
Everyone is
Okay
just
lah.
connected
Let's just
online
do a
through
quick-
this meet.
All right, okay, nice. Okay, so let's just do a very quick icebreaker so that everyone lets loose a little. Sebab sekarang everyone macam is quite serious kan. Okay, so since it's also so early in the morning to be hearing me talk, so let's just do a very, very quick icebreaking. Okay, so I need everyone to help me out here, okay? So let's just do raising hands lah, okay? Since semua orang tak nak buka camera kan in the morning. Okay. So it's very simple. I will read out a statement, and if it applies to you, you can just raise your hands. Use the raising hands feature, and look around. Maybe you can see some of your friends having the same experience as you as well. Okay. Okay. So let's just do an example. Raise your hand if this is your first time attending a career talk.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see a few. Okay. Nice. Keep it up, guys. Oh, okay. Now, the next one. Okay, you guys got it early, right? Okay. Okay, for the next one, raise your hand if you have not had breakfast yet.
Had breakfast.
Raise my hand. Okay. If you haven't had breakfast yet, I hope you can grab your breakfast later as well, or throughout the session. If you need to leave and take your breakfast, please do so as well. Okay. Next one. Raise your hand if you have a coffee in your hand or on your table or around you, or if you've gotten coffee already this morning. Or matcha lah, for whoever who doesn't drink coffee. Okay, nice. Okay, if you guys want to chat in the chat box, pun boleh. Don't worry about it. Yep.
Second.
Okay, next one. Raise your hand if you've ever felt nervous about applying for a job or internship. Oh, this one is a lot. Okay. This one yang paling laju. Okay. I see about 50 raising your hands. About half. Okay. Nice. Okay, let's do a last one. Raise your hand if you're excited to learn from today's session. Nice. Okay. Where's the other 40? Are you guys not excited? Okay, I hope you can get excited throughout the session, okay? Okay, so it looks like many of us share similar experiences and questions about the job market, which makes this session even more relevant. So now that all of us are warmed up, you guys know how to react, how to navigate the chat box. I hope you can continue to stay engaged and energized throughout our 3 hours together. So now let's jump into our discussion on the first part of the talk, which is the reality bites, challenges, and what to expect. With me today, I have Miss Khaireen Sara, who is currently a global Maybank apprentice. So Khaireen here just started her journey about 4 months ago. She graduated from City University of London in Bachelor of Science, International Politics and Philosophy, and currently under the Global Maybank Apprenticeship Program, she is rotating with the SB10D team, executing Maybank's EVP transformation under the 10th strategic pillar to elevate Maybank. Since that sounds like words and you can okay. But ultimately, she's one of my closest friends, someone who has walked this journey with me as we navigate a lot of our firsts in our career in Maybank together. So please join me in welcoming Khaireen. Okay. You guys can react. The clap signs. Okay. So, Khaireen, let's begin with your journey. Can you share a little bit about your academic background, what led you to Maybank, and what you're currently working on?
Hi everyone, good morning, and I hope you guys can hear me. All okay kan? Semua boleh dengar, right? Okay, nice. So, Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi to Dr. Muhammad Nizam bin Yus, penolong Naib Chancellor College Pengajaran Komputeran, Informatik dan Matematik, panjang nama, and also Barisan Sekretariat Mahasiswa KPPIM and the rest of the team in UiTM. My name is Khaireen. You can call me Khaireen or Kai for short, whatever that works for you. I am currently a global Maybank apprentice. Just like Aisha mentioned, I've started my journey since 4 months ago. So whatever you're going through right now, I completely understand because I just started my career journey also. And I was once a student not long time ago. And whatever you're going through, I went through it literally just a few months back. I studied international politics and philosophy for 3 years at City University of London. So I just got back around September last year. And then I started Maybank directly in October 2024. I did A-levels at College Asal UEM, where I took history, economics, and also English literature. I also did SPM in one of the schools in Kuala Lumpur. I did IGCSE as well in English literature, and I have a diploma in French language that I did for 4 years. Yeah, so I hope that answered a lot of like some basic details of the journey that I went through, and then I'm going to go through on how I got to join Maybank. But if you guys have any questions or anything, you have like suddenly a thought on want to ask me whatever, feel free to just pop in the chat box. Like macam YouTuber kan, pop in the chat box and then feel free to just comment anything, and then one of my teams will delegate on that. All right, so on my journey into Maybank, I joined Maybank in October 2024, freshly right after I just graduated, where I got an offer to join this GMAT program, Global Maybank Apprentice Program, during my last term or my last semester in university before I graduated. Basically how I stumbled upon this program is that I started off with job scouting, which I believe most of you guys are doing now kan, for internship season is coming soon. Siapa yang tengah buat internship sekarang, ada yang nak buat internship yang second year students yang buat internship in September nanti, you guys dah start look around on the options kan. So I did an internship as well before I started this job. I did an internship back in KPMG in Malaysia, where I did advisory consulting under strategy and operations. So I worked a lot on like consulting like BGLCs, MNCs on their operational strategies. And I did had a touch on different industries such as oil and gas, our national electric supplier, TNB juga. And the main focus that I did at that time was mainly on sustainability and ESG. So I think that's the trend nowadays in a lot of like corporate language or corporate lingo, so more like ESG. What's ESG, this and that. So that's something that I think a lot of companies are championing right now. So after I did my internship at that time, where I got a bit of like macam just an industrial insights of what's going on, I came back to continue my 3rd semester, and masa tu I started job scouting in Malaysia. So I did a lot of research, kan kita pergi on LinkedIn, banyak job offers baru keluar, or sometimes like you go to the company's website or career fairs. In Malaysia ada banyak career fair kan. For example, we just had one last week with Maybank on the Talent Bank dekat Sunway Pyramid. Any of you guys went? Ada yang pergi tak? Aisyah pergi. Ada. That's nice. I hope you guys had a good time there, trying to look for different opportunities for you guys. And I understand masa I was studying at that time, my biggest concern was nak sambung masters ke nak kerja? Am I ready to work? Or should I just like, let's not think about it, have a feel masa internship, tengok macam mana, and then kita just apply masters, right? I guess that's one thing that a lot of us are thinking, but we're just scared to face the reality. We're just scared to face like all these macam like like fight to go to earn something that you rasa by the end of it nanti, like even if you get a job pun, the pay is not setimpal with your qualifications. You know, banyak challenges throughout, like for you to be able to reach that at the end of the line kan. And for now, macam of course, being a student, I feel like throughout my last year, the most comfortable space for me to go is nak sambung masters. And I'm aware macam for UiPM, there are some programs. For example, correct me if I'm wrong, like Fakulti Matematik ada buat macam kalau you buat ni, and then the new programs yang boleh sambung automatic ke masters kan. If you reach a certain CGPA and everything, kalau you top student, you top scorer like 3.5 and above, and you boleh terus automatic masuk to different master opportunities dekat sana. So I know that's something that looks very easy for you guys right now kan. Terus okay, let's just go to masters, because I was once thinking like that too, because I tak nak kerja. But yeah, anyways, I feel like that's something that is still an option. We can still go through that juga. Cuma masa I was going through that, my thought process when if I want to do masters pun, which can be an option, there's no harm for us to still applying for jobs lah kan. In a way that if there is anything that might happen after, kalau tiba-tiba suddenly you feel like macam, oh okay, I'm not fit, like I don't feel like I want to do studying now, I don't feel like I want to do masters now, then that's something yang at least kita ada that job security after we graduate. And that's one thing that I told myself, like okay, it's okay, nak tak nak, let's just apply and see if ada rezeki, it comes. If it's not, then maybe it's not time yet. So since I did an internship masa tu dekat a consulting firm, one of the big fours, I thought at that time I wanted to do consulting as well. So that's where you could learn about different industries and grow. Anyone here who feels like they want to go into big four, you know, even if you don't do banking, you don't do finance, you don't do accounting and finance, you're just I nak masuk big four, I nak buat audit. Ada tak? About consulting, I nak do like all these different kinds that I can do. I can see some of you guys. Yeah, that's something that I think is very common amongst us young people. I feel like macam the dream, you just want to grab a chance to get into the big four, and how the experience goes is how you learn about it later then. So, but I wanted to apply juga, cuma at the time I felt like I was forcing myself because I didn't know whether that's one thing that I want to do. The whole notion of my last year of degree, which I believe you guys are going through right now juga, is the fact that I don't know what I want to do. Even if I have a background in finance, for example, I still don't know what scope of finance do I want to get into. Do I want to get into the big four type of finance? Do I want to get into banking punya finance? Do I want to go to like a small company and then like look into their internal punya finance structure? You know, that's, for example, one thing that we all really don't know. It's a lot of pressure lah, honestly. You tengah struggle nak buat your FYP, nak cari internship, and at the same time you're not going to fikir lah, oh my god, what do I need to do in life after kan? Like what do I need to start looking for? Just like keep on applying blindly without knowing what I want to get into, right? And that's when I stumbled upon graduate trainee programs. Sebab I feel like when I was in the UK, this was something that was not really advocated sangat at that time to Malaysians. I am aware it's a big thing here in Malaysia, tapi masa tu kita orang tak ada exposure langsung about what graduate training programs are. And I think that's unfortunate, but I somehow stumbled upon it because I think like I actually did stalk a lot of like different companies and see what opportunities they have for us lah after I dah grad kan. And I think the beauty of graduate training programs is that it's a good opportunity for me to have the flexibility to sort of explore and discover like what I like, especially like in big national companies. And as the most important thing is that at that point, I wouldn't know what I want to do, and I didn't know, and I still don't know what I want to do. So it's a good platform for me to still discover and find like different things that I can do within a company, a big company, and then see what links most with my interest. So I did my research, search, and I found that the #1 graduate training program in Malaysia is this program called Global Maybank Apprentice by Maybank. So I was looking through like the past alumni of GMAP, and then I saw that they have the balance of working within the national sphere because it's the biggest like banking company in Malaysia, and at the same time also regional influence amongst all ASEAN countries, because Maybank has regional like offices in Indonesia and Singapore and Cambodia and Philippines, like, you know, a lot of other countries as well. And that's something that I think what sets Maybank apart from any other places lah. Like, you don't want to just work in a company and just stuck in that view. You just want to have a bit of everything and try to see how the differences in culture would affect your work, kan? So what helped me the most at the time after I realized that, okay, let's try a graduate training program. Okay, what do I need to do from now that I know that there are graduate training programs? I started to prepare. Okay, this is actually, I think, quite embarrassing for me to say, but I had a job tracker where I opened up an Excel sheet, just simple ones, like I looked up like different types of programs, like different companies, different deadlines, and what do I need in order for me to, you know, like do all this, like nak letak apa, like do they ask for CV? Do they ask for CV and cover letter? What do they ask for? Do I need a certain grade for me to be able to join this? And it's very helpful that you are doing that at the beginning of your third year. Sebab by then you boleh curate your experiences and curate your ways of like studying in order for you to set certain goals by the end of it untuk join a certain programs, for example. So at that time, I knew I had to get a certain amount of this, that, and I curated that whole process from the beginning of the year. And it was so nicely to see that, okay, by the end of it, I make sure I have some boxes ticked in order for me to be able to like at least stand a chance when I want to apply, kan? So this is honestly something that's very useful for me. Surprisingly, it helped me a lot more than I expected, because at one point when I was really just like, when there's a new link coming out, oh, okay, this company just opened up the graduate training programs, I terus masuk, I somehow got used to the procedures of how interviews work and how the stages work when it comes to applying for any jobs, be it graduate training programs or non-graduate training programs. So that's one thing that was really helpful, that I had my own personal Excel sheet, like job tracker, for me to see what are the things yang, okay, by end of this month, there are 3 jobs yang akan tutup soon, so I should apply for it now. Be it I dapat or tak dapat, that's fine, as at least I don't have any like macam menyesal later that I didn't try to, kan? If they want me, then that's good. If they don't want me pun tak apa, then that means I have like some other ways that will bring me to a better place, inshallah. And those are the things yang somehow awal-awal you will get really nervous trying to apply for internships, you'll get really nervous trying to apply for jobs, you will even like self-doubt whether can you do it, like would there be other people who are much better than you outside, can I really man this up, and like, you know, tak like nervous when I'm trying to talk and everything. But the more you do it, the more you get used to the procedures, the more you get used to it, that you will at one point treat every single session of interviews as just something that's, you are talking to a person. I'm talking to another human being. I just borak dengan the interviewer. You know, at one point it had to be to that level where you became very comfortable with the process, and with that, everything inshallah will become very smooth for you from that moment onwards. So I really do suggest for you guys to have a job tracker, just a simple Excel sheet. You don't need Excel sheet pun, whatever works for you. Sometimes some people lagi senang nak, you know, draw, like buat mind maps lah, apalah. Sometimes you're a visual person. Then however you want to do it. Just one point is that it's important for you to just have something at the back of your head that while you're doing your FYP and suddenly you're like, let's do something else. Then you can redirect your energy into trying to prepare yourself for after studying. And then continuing from there, so I did that for Maybank. And how I entered, basically in March 2024, they came to London for a career fair under Graduan. So Graduan is a really good platform that I would like to suggest to all of you also, GRADUAN, Graduan. So it's basically a platform for job seeking amongst Malaysians, because Graduan pun sometimes they have their own tracker juga. So you don't have to prepare your own. You just have to go into the website and you tengok what they have at that time and what's open and all. So they did a career fair in the UK and they brought around 30 to 40 companies, and they all flew in and did interviews for us over there. And masa tu, what really opened my mind was actually the beauty of career fair. Because I think dulu, okay lah, I'm just going to be honest, I was a very lazy person. If I hear career fair, macam, tak nak lah, there will be so many people. There's going to be a lot of like, semua orang like berebut nak drop CV lah, semua orang like, you know, want to talk to this person, talk to that person. It's just very messy, kan? But we didn't have the opportunity in the UK. They only had one career fair and that's all. Even if you had to jalan macam tin sardin, so be it. Like that had to be the experience. But over here in Malaysia, you have multiple career fairs coming juga. We have one like coming in June, July, also if I'm not mistaken. And throughout the year, there'll be multiple career fairs. And if you have the opportunity, you should really go and just try to see what opportunities are there for you to have a look at. But it doesn't really have to be anything related to your degree. It really, by the end of it stems from what you yourself want to do, what aspects of yourself you want to grow. And it really does not matter. Contoh, kalau I buat accounting finance, I can only do audit, for example. I myself didn't come from a finance background. Not even like sciences or anything. I literally came from humanities background, and somehow I ended up in a financial institution, right? So that's something that I hold on to. Like I'm here to learn, be it something that I know or not, I'm here to always learn. So with the Maybank, close eyes there, I went through around 3 stages. So it was first online assessment. A lot online assessment. It's just like basic games lah, macam they just you have to try match up these different puzzles. What's the sequence of this and that? You add up a few numbers, and it's a very, very like it's doable. It is okay. And then I got called to the actual assessment center in the UK for about 4 hours, where we did like case studies, and that's something that we in Maybank try to curate as clean and as fun as possible for every student who interact with us, so that every year the experience is different. Every year, if you master this program, then that's something that you have the opportunity to work on all the stuff. And after that, the last stage would be an interview around 2-hour career conversation. And maybe we call it career conversation, but it's actually interviews. And then alhamdulillah, after that, I was able to secure the job by the end of March 2024, while I was still studying at that time. But in terms of like stages, I rasa it would be best if I were to link it up back to Aisha, since Aisha did her assessment center and everything in Malaysia, and I rasa it will be something that would be more interesting for you guys to look through, sebab their stages were a lot more. Since in UK, they only had macam seminggu je for the Maybank team to be there, so they rushed the process. But for Malaysia, it's very lama, right, Shah? It's quite long. Yeah, then I'll pass it back to her, and then she can talk more about it. Maybe you can share with them how was your process.
Thanks so much, Khaireen. I think it's very interesting hearing the perspectives that you have before you joined Maybank. And I think some of the things that I wanted to highlight is that although you're not from a banking, accounting, finance background, because I heard tadi ada a few people who are doing different degrees as well, like different majors as well, right? So for me, I did psychology. Khaireen did international politics, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's something that Maybank does very differently. They really want to see the talents. We really want to see the talents as who they are as a person and what can they bring into the bank itself. So for me, for my experience of going into Maybank, I wasn't like Khaireen lah. I didn't have a career tracker of like the different job interviews that I want to go to. But I was more kiasu lah back then. I applied to everything. I wanted to join everything, despite being a psychology major. I applied to very, very different companies lah. But I think Maybank really stood out because they really want their assessment, like what Khaireen said, really assessed me in a different way. They wanted to see how good I am in presenting, my creative thinking skills. So these are some of the things that were quite important and quite interesting to me lah. So maybe Khaireen, many students like us before, we entered the workforce with certain expectations, maybe like you said lah, in terms of salary, in terms of what job they might be doing in whatever that they apply for. But in reality, maybe that shift daripada being a university student to actually having this corporate life can be quite different and very challenging actually. So maybe what are some of like the biggest challenges that you faced in this transition, and how do you go through these challenges? It's about maybe some of the things that just make you feel like, okay, today I want to wake up and I semangat to get through it, like even though it's very challenging. Because For me, it was particularly challenging because I came from a non-accounting or finance background, right? So for some of the things, when I was sent to branch and business center, it was quite challenging because I didn't even know what current account, saving account is. So I had to really learn on the job. So I think you can relate with me on that lah. So for me, it was a lot on picking up a lot of the learning throughout being on the job itself and really doing it quick. But maybe for you, what are some of the maybe learning curve and how did you adapt to the corporate culture?
Well, yeah, when you mentioned BC, like business center, I'm much because just to let you guys know, macam my last maths related like work or anything was literally during SPM. Right after SPM, I didn't take any maths at all because I didn't like numbers. So I'm more of a reading person, a writing person, and I know numbers are not my strength, so I didn't even bother to continue. But I'm so sorry. Apa tu? I'm so sorry, like Dr. Muhammad Nizam, because you literally teach maths, but I'm so bad at maths. So that's one thing that I think most of you guys take numbers here also, and you can really leverage on that lah. So for me, macam the challenges initially I thought would be on remaining relevant. Sebab like I mentioned just now, it's a financial institution. What do I expect, right? And I didn't come from a finance or any number related background at all. And I thought that would be the biggest challenge for me, that I started off in a complete different background and I didn't touch numbers in a very long time. It's not that I had the numbers for it, but still, I need to understand about the market and everything. And I wouldn't know how to understand everything about it. And I thought that my knowledge wouldn't be enough at that point. But I was completely wrong. I came into the bank expecting that would be my biggest deficiency. That would be my biggest like something that I would lack of, which is my knowledge that I have from school, my knowledge that I have from uni, something that I don't have, and then I don't know how to apply it. But it was something that honestly was really not as important as I thought, because I was proven wrong that despite me not coming like from a background that would equip me well for finance and thing, because I have a friend, she did accounting and finance and she's currently working in a bank too, in another bank, undergraduate training program also. And what she did, she told me was that since she did accounting and finance, she thought there might be some expectations that they would know they would have on you just because you came from that background, right? So 1 week before she started working, she actually went through all her notes dari tahun like first semester all the way to her sixth semester. And that was something that I was like, huh? Really? And that made me scared because what do I refer to? I have nothing to refer to, right? And that's honestly something that you guys don't have to worry about at all, because I understand that you would think that companies or certain like interviewers might have some expectations of you for the job just because you come from a certain background and anything. But what's most important, honestly, is the soft skills. Soft skills that I picked up during my uni years, soft skills that I picked up during my college years. As simple as throughout all the complaints yang you had to do with like kena buat group work lah, kena buat presentation lah, all those little things, honestly, I underestimated how that would really affect my work culture right now. Critical thinking skills, problem solving, even as simple as elevator pitch point, those has helped me a lot along the way. And that is what's most important for me. And another factor was that, the biggest challenge is trying to adapt to a very different environment where every work I do is a correlation to other things. I think we can all relate to this since when it comes to studying, we just have to do things for ourselves, kan? We just have to jaga our own timetable. We just have to jaga our own grades. We have to jaga our own growth, our own assignments. But now I realize that everything I do in working do impact other people. It affects other teams also. I need to really carefully weigh my judgment. And I always have to keep on thinking, okay, if this is good for me, would it be good for others? If I say I could do this by tomorrow, would it hold back other people's job scope also? Like that's one thing that I'm still learning to do and adapting to different teams with different working styles. And that's something that I have to be agile in terms of finding the right balance, not just for myself anymore, but for the whole thing to work. But I believe we are quite equipped on that juga, since we do have all these like group works, and then you work with different classmates in different modules, different classes, kan? And that's something that you're already softly learning on how to work with different types of people, different kinds of people, different kinds of work styles. So yeah, I think that would be the most challenging part for me right now.
Nice, thanks, Khaireen. Okay, so maybe you can share a little bit more about, like, as a young professional, like myself and you as well, who really just joined the industry representing Maybank right now. So what advice would you give to students who are looking to maybe secure their first job and stand out in a competitive market? Because just now you said, you did mention things like communication skills, and also maybe a little bit about joining group works in university kan dulu. So what are some of the things that you look forward to in your career as well? So maybe a bit about like the advice, and also what do you look forward to in your career?
I think in terms of advice, this is something that I've been holding on to for a very long time. Being able to have multiple skills is very, very crucial. Be it about the ability to do market research, your technical research skills, or most importantly, for me, is the ability to learn and unlearn. Unlearn is the important bit. It's not just about learning, but sometimes you have to unlearn stuff also. And for example, okay, I've been touching a lot on like if you come from finance background, right? Or let's say if you come from like accounting background, there's not much different. But if you come from accounting background, for example, you sell yourself as an accounting student, but that doesn't mean you cannot know anything about AI, you cannot know anything about digital growth, you cannot learn anything about geopolitical issues. Because one thing that I realized once I entered the working industry is that everything is just interrelated. The market, social growth, economics, people, even as simple as what goes on in the country at the moment. So these are soft skills and soft knowledge that you would need to keep being updated on, because all of this to some extent will affect your capabilities and judgment in the workplace. So, but you don't want to make a judgment based on, like a psychology student point of view. You don't want to be just exactly just that. You want to be someone who's beyond of just a psychology student.
Oh my gosh.
And one thing that I hold on to now that I've started working is that it is always okay for me to change my perception and beliefs based on new information. It is okay for me to be wrong. I don't need to say that I don't know things, just because I'm always here to always learn and be versatile. And that's something that I think a habit that you should start while you are still a student in university, because you are always there for you to learn and unlearn. The unlearn bit is something that I feel a lot of people overlook. That the moment you get something right, you're just like, okay, I understand this is as it is, and this is it. But it's not. Sometimes you get new information from other people, you learn about more skills, you learn about new things in different scopes and aspects, then you decide, oh, okay, whatever judgment I had last time was actually wrong, then I can, change it. And I think one thing that I would like to suggest is, if any of you have a free time, feel free to go to this website called Forage, Forage. I'll just write it down, just in case. I can't write it down. Someone can write it down for me. Forage, Forage. So it's basically a website that offers multiple short courses by MBB, like BCG, McKinsey. And what you can do is that you learn about different set skills that will help you along the way. So they do give certificates for that. It's like short courses that can boost up your CV. You can do it within a day or two, depending on what you like, basically. And they do provide like accredited certificates for you to be able to attach that to your CV when your experiences also. And like I mentioned, what is most important is that you don't want to be seen as just a maths and a finance graduate, because what sets you apart from other maths and finance graduate students are these little soft skills and knowledge that you have on different industries and topics, and that makes you adaptable no matter what industry you ends up in. You basically just want to be the jack of all trades lah, and you know that if you were given a task, no matter what point, you are able to do it. Sebab I think from an assessor point of view, I think Paul will touch on that a bit more later, is that I have, for example, 5 finance graduates in front of me. So what makes you different? Because I have 5 orang with the same background, 5 orang with the same like education, academic background, but what sets you apart is honestly all these little things that makes you more versatile and makes you you rather than just your knowledge. Really don't brand yourself with your degree, brand yourself with all the little other things that you can collect from outside and then make that yourself. So I think that's one advice, because I started that quite late in my studying years. I only started that during my last year. And then I realized that, oh, when I start applying for jobs, that's something that will be quite competitive for me. Sebab I come from like, for example, like I do politics. Then in that specific job, there are 6 other politics students. So you know what makes me different, what makes me me. So that's one thing that you have to keep on growing and learning and unlearning. And then I really go through the Forage website. So it's a really good base for you to start learn about different skills, coding, networking, presentation skills, and things like that. And then you did ask on what do I expect, what do I look forward to, right, Aisha? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what I look forward to for myself right now is to absorb as many things as I can, because what I can say for sure is that I wouldn't know if I would be here for a long time. I wouldn't know that me entering the banking industry is something I'm going to do forever. That's something that I don't see like myself doing that for a very long time. For example, I always keep on, like even after dah study, habis study and dah masuk kerja, it's something that I look forward to keep on changing and try to tap different industries, different things that I can tap as much in order for me to learn about things a lot more. So that's one thing I look forward to. I just started my journey and I'm gonna grow more, and you'll probably, I don't know, see me in some different industries in the next 2-3 years, in the next 4-5 years. Suddenly I'll be doing, I don't know, tiba-tiba jadi like in the music industry ke. You never know, you know, things like this. So that's one thing that I don't limit myself on, and I look forward to that. Really, yeah. Back to you, Aisha.
Thanks, Khaireen. So I think I agree lah. I think long gone is it that being the loudest in the room, that you are the most successful. Macam tak semestinya now that you're the only person to speak up, you're going to be the most successful. Because I learned that sometimes having this macam niche skills and also things that you're good at and being good at what you're good at is something that's more important right now. Because when I first joined, I really felt this pressure to know exactly what I wanted to do long term. So previously, I was really interested in industrial psychology. So I thought like, okay, this is something that I'll be doing till I retire. Tapi when I joined Maybank, I was this macam freshie that doesn't know anything, and it was like 1.0. You start with nothing balik, even when you really like succeeded in your degree. When you started working, it's really like you started with ground zero lah. And the truth is, careers are really not linear, but it's okay to explore. I think this is the age for you to make mistakes and pivot. Like Khaireen said, she might be doing things in the music industry. Who knows? Kan, if I meet her in the future, she would be like an actress, a singer. So it's okay to make mistakes. This is the age. It's okay to pivot, to do different things and explore different things, because what matters is having the right attitude lah. So being open to learning and embracing opportunities as they come. And I think I really had moments where I doubted myself, because I really wondered if I was macam doing enough, if I belonged in where I am right now. Macam, am I going to regret this decision? Macam tu. But at the end of the day, no one expects perfection. Even your boss doesn't expect you to be perfect. But I think what matters is showing up and taking ownership and just constantly improving every day, learning and improving. So I think one last question for Khaireen before we have a maybe short break and a Q&A session with everyone. As a Maybank apprentice, sometimes we really do have a key role in bridging the students and the industry, right? So this is slightly different from like the career questions, because like we've already heard a lot about career and transitioning from students to career. So this is right now, we have a key role in bridging the students and the industry that we're in right now. So can you tell us what this experience has been like for you, being sort of like a mentor to some of the students? Because I believe that if any of the students here, from 163 students that we have here, if they go about becoming a Maybank student ambassador, this is something that they will have to do. So what is that experience like for you?
I think for being a global Maybank apprentice, it's some sort of correlated with being an ambassador also, right? It's just that you're starting from a different scale. One as a professional young adult and another one is as a student when you start early. To touch on the ambassador program, I didn't have the opportunity to join ambassador program back when I was studying since they didn't offer it outside of Malaysia. But I did join a student charitable organization called the Council Movement that focuses on bridging education inequalities to underserved communities in Malaysia. I'm not sure if you guys know, but I hope you guys know about the Council Movement. That's something I'm really passionate about. So I did Kalsum for about 3 years and came back every summer for me to join the programs and become facilitators for the students. So we traveled everywhere throughout Malaysia, Sabah, Sarawak, Kedah, Terengganu, and met multiple students with different backgrounds for us to understand the demographics and what actually they are looking for. And it was really an eye-opening moment. You can really touch every different some life facets in the whole of Malaysia that you never knew. You know, there's some people who view lives like this, like that, and have certain ambitions and goals towards what they want to do. And by being that agent, I always see that as an opportunity for me to bridge them to opportunities like this, like even as simple as this talk, for example, like you guys being able to see what job offers are out there for you guys to know and then learn all the tricks, then all the, how to get your CV perfect, how to nail your interviews and things like that, because macam what we're trying to do is as simple as to motivate them to even finish the SPM. That's like a whole picture of it. And at the same time, when Aisha mentioned about becoming the bridge, I saw myself at that time to become the bridge between different industries and these students. Multiple skill set for them to like see macam how they can contribute and upskill these multiple like potentials, untap their potentials that they have in different aspects that we never see. And so one of the examples that we did at that time was we went to a juvenile school in Sungai Besi. So we went there to provide opportunities for the students there to look forward to building life after their serving period in that school. And they were all there for multiple reasons. And at such a young age, they would think that they wouldn't have opportunities anymore for them to explore workforce kan, sebab they have criminal records. And these are something that we are there for us to prove to them that everyone has an opportunity to do anything that they want. Somewhere, somehow, they would always have that opportunity, that window for them to tap. And it's just a matter of what they're willing to do to help themselves and what we can do to help them achieve all that. And one of the reasons why I joined Maybank was actually because of the community. And one of it is the ambassador program. I knew it was really big back then when I was still a student. Back then, macam lama sangat, tak ada lama sangat. But it was just last year, it's really big. I knew most of my friends in Malaysia semua joined ambassador. And then I was really attracted to the youth movement also, which is something that we do within Maybank for us to uplift all the young communities into doing things outside of work. It's not just working for you when you come into Maybank. There are other things also. You want to do pickleball. You want to do like CSR projects. You want to do badminton every Wednesday. Go ahead. That's something that I really look forward to when it comes to me choosing Maybank at that time. So with this ambassador program, linking back to what I did, because I was doing all this charity work like throughout the whole 3 years of me studying, and I wanted to find that continuation when I stopped studying and starting into workforce. It was very, very hard sebab not all companies do provide that opportunity for us yang baru masuk. I'm pretty sure like macam all of you guys are quite active in your co-curriculars, right? In your ITM, I know ada banyak sangat program, so many very, very niche programs yang korang buat, and it's something that you are passionate about and you want to continue towards after you dah habis study kan, something that you can bring into the workforce, something you've been good at, that's something that you're passionate on. And that's something that I realize what sets Maybank apart. from all the other job offers yang ada was this platform of M-Youth and Ambassador yang we curate especially just for young people to uplift all these things that we have been doing and we want to do it just for our communities. And you can explore a lot of hopes and dreams in this ambassador program, on that a bit more later on the third part. And that's something that's most important for us to do at this age. Because even as simple as being able to attend a university and learn, that's one privilege that most of us here have that many others out there don't have. So taking that in and trying to put that towards what you do on a daily basis is something that I hold on to, and something that I think would be really useful for all of us to kind of thought through also. So joining the ambassadors, I think macam benda-benda like this would really give you insights and motivate you to be the agent of change. So that's the bridge that we're talking about. You can be an agent of change if you want to, in whatever scope one. Because what's most important is that you're aware of what you can do, and with that you do it to help others and who do not have the same opportunities as you do right now. So the ambassador program, I think, really uplifts that, and that's one of the reasons I think one of the things that memang really put me into Maybank is the young community, the M-Youth, and we're working on M-Youth Plus right now. Anyways, I think it's a full circle moment for me. I said that in my interview. I joined this about M-Youth Ambassador and all this, and I feel like it's a hub for, like young people. You don't masuk and terus like face a laptop and just like do your work. You masuk and then you have like people who are on the same level as you, people who have shared the same passion as you, and experienced leaders also to help and guide you through. And now, alongside Aisha, and one of our colleagues as well, Jasvir, we are doing like curating M-Youth Plus, which is something that we want to do to extend to people beyond Maybank also. So yeah, I think that's one thing that I look forward to juga for this year.
Thank you so much, Khaireen. So I think just to sort of wrap it up a little bit before I go to the Q&A session. So I think it's a lot about how you can leverage on different platforms and different things that you are given to actually sell yourself and market yourself later in the future when you're looking for a job. So I think really like ambassadors and M-Youth, all of these platforms are some of the things that really can shine you and differentiate you from other people that are your peers as well when you want to go into the working industry. So thank you so much, Khaireen. That was a super incredibly insightful discussion. I think I learned a lot about you as well, even though I've known you for the past few months. So really thank you for sharing your journey and valuable advice on navigating the challenges and challenges of securing a job into this competitive market. So before we move on to our next session, let's take a few minutes for a quick Q&A. So if you have any questions for Khaireen or even for me, feel free to drop them in the chat box, or you can raise your hands. So yeah, I think there is one question in the chat box right now. The question is by Shaliza Alisha. Is there any chance that I could join the Global Maybank Ambassador program for this year, perhaps after this program ended? Khaireen, do you want to take that up, or do you want me to take that? Okay, so definitely there is a chance, because we're opening the applications for the Global Maybank Ambassador program. We call it #Ambassador. So I think you can stay tuned till the last session for today, because we'll be talking about the Global Ambassador program even deeper. You can even apply right away at the end of the session today. But if you want to know anything more about the Ambassador program, you can wait until the end of the session. Yeah. Any other questions? Kalau malu nak tanya, you can always drop in the chat box, or any comments you want to have. You have? Okay, Adriana asked, may I know the difference between an ambassador program and protege program? Khaireen, do you want to take this up?
Yeah, I can take this one. So for ambassador program is basically for students who are still in universities, undergraduate students, foundation, or anything, as long as you're still a student. And what you do is that you become an agent of Maybank to your universities. So this year we have quite a very interesting lineup juga on all the things that you can do. But basically what you do is that you collaborate with other universities and also regional juga, since we have ambassadors in Indonesia, Singapore, Cambodia, and now we are expanding into Philippines, right? So we will have like graduation event, and also like onboarding event where you can meet all these regional friends that you have. So that is specifically for students. Protege pula is for those who have graduated, correct me if I'm wrong, right? For those who have graduated, that it's a continuation of SLIM program by the government back then in the early 2010s. And what you do is that you come and you are attached to a specific department. And then it depends on your contract. Usually it will be around 8 months for you to work right after you graduated, for you to just get industry insights. So the difference is that for Protege, you're working for Maybank as a graduate, but for Ambassador is that as a student, you are becoming an agent for Maybank towards like all the other countries and your universities, to your universities, but you must be a student. I hope that clears your question, Adriana. That answers your question.
Yeah. Also, I think if you want to know more about the career opportunities in Maybank, the next session would be very interesting, because we will have Paul, who is a seasoned recruiter. He will be sharing a lot more on that later as well. Okay. Any other questions? We still have time for questions. All right. I think there's one. Suri. Okay. Sorry, I missed your name just now. Okay. Since both of you are from different background, how do you cope with the challenges? Okay. I think I'll start a bit on this, and then I can pass it to Khaireen. I think because I came from a psychology background, it was hard to cope with the more technical stuff. So maybe like if you're talking about finances, if you're talking about like investment banking or corporate banking, there might be a lot of jargon lah, benda yang I dengar for the first time when I'm on the job. But then again, like what Khaireen mentioned as well earlier, coping with the challenges is a lot on learning on the job itself, asking the people around me and having that support around me to learn on the job itself. But in terms of coping with, I think whatever I learned during my degree, macam group work and whatever soft skills that I learned during my degree, it really helped me to boost my skills in my career as well. So Khaireen?
As for me, I didn't see my education background as something that would hold me back. So that's the mindset that I came with into any different sorts of industries. Is that whatever background I came from, as long as I can do the work, I can do the work. So it's not really relevant whether I know this or not, because I can always learn. So the biggest challenge, macam how I cope with the challenges, was that I try to always talk to different people from different departments. Since this program, we are rotating every 3 months, the GMAT program, Global Maybank Apprentice program. Every 3 months, we rotate to different departments, catered to your own personal wants, like how you view, like you want to do this month, the next 3 months you want to do this. So for example, right now, Asha and I were rotating under like SP10 team. But then next month, inshallah, I'll be going into like compliance, for example. And then the next 3 months, if I want to suddenly do marketing, I can. If I want to do like financial risk, I can. If I want to go do global banking, I can. So that ability for me to be able to like meet different people is one thing yang I tak beratkan mulut to go and talk to everyone lah. So that's how I cope with it, because if I don't know, then I can know if I talk to others and learn about it. So it's always like just have to be kind to others and just talk to the rest and like, just borak with whoever like friends. That's how I cope. I meet like other people from the programs and I ask them how were their rotations. They've been in the program for 2 years, for example. What rotations were you in? And then how was it for you? Like what does this department do? What does that department do? So you get a bit of everything in all of the different departments within the institution and even outside. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Khaireen. So any advice for fresh graduates who feel overwhelmed and unemployed? So how to get a good start into the job environment? Khaireen, do you want to take this up first and I'll continue? Yeah.
Yeah, boleh. I rasa for me, we went through what you guys are going through right now. Baru je like 3 bulan, 4 bulan yang lalu, baru je lagi. One thing that really helped me a lot really was the job tracker and how I view interviews. Sebab a lot of people I tahu macam when they go to interviews, they'll feel so scared. They rasa macam, can I do this? Am I even qualified for this? You know, you have the imposter syndrome. You rasa macam, I tak tahu whether I could fit this job ke tidak and things like that. But what changed my perspective was on the getting myself used to the procedures like that I mentioned earlier. It's more on like how every time I pergi interview and every time I jumpa interviewer and like the assessors yang akan interview I look at them as if they're just another human being just like me. So I come in, I duduk, and what I need to do is just to talk to them just like how I usually talk to other people and tell them what I need to tell them about myself, and I don't have to oversell myself because then it would be not genuine. And that's something that really changed my perspective sebab every single time I pergi to a job interview, I'm like, okay, it's another session of 30 minutes borak dengan another person from this company. Let's just borak with them. That helped me a lot. And then the next thing is that if they want me, then it's good lah, because I was being myself and I duduk there and I talk to them and I became myself, and if they want me, then they want me. If they don't, then tak apalah, maybe I'm not a good fit for the company, right? I'm a good fit for other companies. Yeah, so that's one thing, is to not feel overwhelmed on how, you know, you kena juga dapat kerja. You have to do it. Sometimes if it's not time yet, then maybe it's not time yet. You just have to find the right one for you. And it would really be helpful if you try to approach like all this job seeking punya culture very differently, in a way that, okay, I'm just doing this because I want to learn. Let's try to see which institution where I can learn from. Would it be Maybank? Would it be like EPF? Would it be Co-op? Like what are these? Would it be Big Four? Would it be EY, Deloitte, all these other companies yang I want to learn from? So you have to view it from a point of view that I want to go into their company and learn rather than they want to take me. So it's more on a you vision rather than their vision. So that's something I think that helped me a lot masa I was applying for jobs. Aisha, what about you?
I think for me, I remember like earlier last year, before I got my internship in Maybank, because I did my internship in Maybank. So I was super anxious. Then I started applying to every job that I saw. I was on JobStreet, I was on LinkedIn. So I think it's very normal and natural for fresh graduates to, you know, have that anxiety of looking for a job and takut nanti, okay, when I graduate, I'm going to be unemployed. What am I going to do? Because back in uni, you had everything sort of laid out for you guys. So I think some of the things that really helped me was actually leveraging on a lot of my networks, because back in uni, there were a lot of like industries that came into our uni and gave talks like what we're doing right now as well. So I think leveraging on that really helped me a lot, because I gained a lot of connections through these industries coming to our universities. I tried my best to connect with recruiters, connect with industry partners. So these are some of the things, and also like reaching out to alumni from my universities, former classmates. So these are some of the people yang really helped me to give me advice on how do I apply for jobs, and maybe even give recommendations to their bosses, or recommendations to the different companies that I wanted to apply for. So sometimes even if you don't have people around you yang can help you with this, maybe you can just go on LinkedIn and just have a chat with people from the industries, because I think a simple chat could actually open unexpected doors, because I actually had like different conversations with people from Maybank even before I joined Maybank, and that actually opened doors for me for different opportunities that I had. And if you feel like you're underemployed, maybe you can have conversations with your lecturer as well on maybe how do I upskill myself, how do I take on like maybe new projects that might align with what I want to do in the future. And maybe ask your career advisor in the universities that you're in your university to help you as well on this. So I think that's something that really helped me back then when I was very anxiously job seeking back then. Okay, so I think we can wrap up for this session. Any last questions from the floor? All right, okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for the questions. So I hope that provides even more clarity on what to expect as you transition into the workforce. Again, thank you so much to Khaireen for being our first speaker for today's session. So I really hope everyone is still engaged. Can everyone give me a thumbs up reaction? I just want to see if everyone is still engaged in the session. Okay, good to know semua belum tidur lagi behind the cameras. Okay. So how leadership and communication skill could help you secure a job. So this will be a great follow-up session to today's discussion with Khaireen. So let's get started with the second session. All right. So before we dive into the questions, let's first get to know the Maybanker who is with us here today. I'm very, very honored to be sharing the spotlight with Paul. Paul or Naufal, Paul is a resourcing specialist and a recruiter in Maybank. So he is the go-to person for starting your career in Maybank, actually. So besides being a recruiter, Paul is also someone who has had an impressive career journey across various roles within Maybank. So before we start, I'll allow Paul to say hi and introduce himself.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes,
Crystal
we can,
clear.
Paul.
All right,
Very
wonderful.
loud and clear. Yep.
All right, so as the given name there, presented by Muhammad Naufal bin Abdul Qadir, yes, that is the name that registered under JPN, Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara. So, but I prefer people to call me Paul. I think it's much more engaging, and I feel like very close to everyone. Whoever called me by the name Paul, you know. So macam bila you panggil I macam Cik Naufal kan macam dude, I'm not that old, okay, I'm still young, you know. All right. So yeah, I think I am quite okay if people just call me Paul instead of like berencik-encik dengan I, because I don't really quite comfortable people calling me Encik Naufal sebenarnya. Okay. Now, I've been with the bank for the past 14 years, and also please do the math how old I am at the moment. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I mean, I'm not even going to the old age yet, but I'm still in the midst of like finding myself. I mean, like finding myself to be in the old age soon. Okay, so yeah, I've been in a various functions in the bank, starting as a collection officer. For example, for instance, as a collection officer is a function where you call people to collect for payments of debts that they have with the bank. So then I made myself up to become one of the fraud investigator. This is a very interesting function that I've have experience in the bank. Okay, and also later, after a very beautiful 5 years, I have made myself very clear and concise that I want to do something else, which is now I am currently doing it, which is under the group human capital as a resourcing specialist. I think I can pass it over to Aisha. Today is a bit lagging,
Thank
is
you
it?
so much, Paul. Is it?
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
As long as I can see myself moving, that's okay. Because I feel like very alienated if like, you know, like like that. You know?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Paul. I think
No worries.
earlier during the session I called you a seasoned recruiter, but I think it's not like season as in old. Okay. It's just season as in experience because you've had experiences in very, very different roles as well that you do. So I think that's something quite interesting. Okay, so maybe you can share with us first before we start. Let's just start with some of the basics. So what are some of the most important communication skills that employers look for in candidates? And maybe how can you develop these skills to stand out in the job market?
Okay, so when we talk about communication kan, people always mistaken about, oh, communication je kau kena pandai bercakap, communication je kau kena pandai menulis, you know. Actually, no, it's not. It's more than that actually. Communication evolved around so many things. Okay, you speaking, you punya percakapan, you punya penulisan, and then you punya listening is all covered. Okay, so if you want, when we talk about communication, actually communication is a key in every organization. It's where we're connecting a dot to another dot, you see. So if you do not have this skills of communication, I would say that it's quite impossible for you to have for you to land on a very stable career, because you yourself do not able to communicate well. Okay, what I meant by communicate well is that everybody can speak. Semua orang boleh bercakap, tak ada masalah. You bagi satu topik, campak kat kedai kopi, bam. Kadang-kadang sekarang 1 jam you tu boleh jadi 10 jam punya topik perbincangan. Okay, you dekat coffee shop tu, you campak satu topik, tapi dalam satu topik tu you boleh pecah. No, it happens to everyone. Dalam satu cerita boleh jadi cerita lain. Okay, everyone can bercakap. But when you are going up atau climbing up the corporate ladder, you need to have a very effective communication skills. Sebabnya, you need to do a lot of presentation. Okay, you need to be able to speak with multi levels of working people. Okay, multi levels means ada you punya subordinates, ada you punya supervisors, you punya team leads, you punya senior management, top management, senior management, itu semua. So every layer of these people, the communication skills should varies. Okay, you tak boleh samakan communication level you pada semua orang. For example, kalau you senior management, contohlah I'm one of the senior management, contohlah Paul, jom minum kopi kejap, boleh tak? Kan? No, I mean like that's not the proper way, right? So the way of speaking and level of communication should be different. Okay, now let's talk about the segment of communication, right? So basically, of course, if you are talking about communication, if in verbally, you need to be able to have a clear verbal communication. What do I mean by clear verbal communication? So basically, clear verbal communication is like to express your ideas confidently and, express your ideas. How should I put in a very simple way? Okay, clear verbal communication, it takes a lot of time for you to practice. Okay, for example, you need to do a lot of public speaking. Okay, so you need to practice, and then you can engage or join any like a group. Macam contoh, the closest I can give you is like okay, for example, groups like Toastmasters. Okay, Toastmasters is a very good platform for you to practice your communication skills and also to seek constructive feedback. So bila you bercakap dengan orang, you cannot be bluntly bercakap kan, without people giving you any feedbacks, right? So it happens. I mean, like, it happens to me before this, to my managers. Okay, so she called me into the room and said that, okay, Paul, I think there's some feedbacks that I'm going to give to you. I think you have to work on your communication. But I just want to get it validated. Sebenarnya kan, what kind of communication? Oh, this communication. Dia kata, you punya email is only one-liner. Okay, then I check by my email. Yes, memang one-liner. Tapi that one-liner is sufficient enough for me to answer the questions. Okay, it's very short and sweet. Then I have to come back to my boss and I say that, boss, yes, I replied in one-liner. I don't deny that, but it is short and sweet, and it has covered the questions that are being raised. Okay, sometimes you need to be able to back up yourself, because by telling that, okay, it's short and sweet, it's one-liner, but I have answered the questions. Okay, so and of course, second thing I want to touch is on the. Okay, remember that I told you just now that communications evolve with so many things, despite of not limited to speaking and writing. So it also involved in active listening as well. Okay, something wrong with my camera, is it? No. Is my camera okay?
Good.
Okay.
You're good. Yep.
I can see like the black area just now. I don't know why.
No, you're good. We can see you.
Okay. So when we talk about the active listening, so basically active listening is like you have to focus. Okay. Please ensure yourself to keep quiet while people are talking. Okay. So when people are talking, you have to shh. Okay. Don't talk. Okay. Because you need to digest the information being delivered. Okay. Apa sebarang perkataannya keluar daripada mulut orang yang tengah bercakap dengan you tu, you kena digest. Okay. Sebabnya otak kita ni, kita as a human being, we are very intelligent. Our mind and brain is very powerful. Okay. Dari satu perkataan ni kadang-kadang dia boleh olah jadi perkataan lain, dia boleh buat satu sentence. Contohnya, you bagi satu, for example, Maybank. Dalam kepala otak you, dan bila dekat Maybank je, dah macam-macam benda kan. Okay, bank ni boleh keluar duit, bank ni ada ATM, bank ni ada ATM card, bank ni ada Maybank to you, ada May, semua keluar. So, when people are talking, you should have an active listening. Dengar dulu apa orang tu cakap dekat you. Okay, so you don't macam jangan cut cut whatever people is talking. You should listen. Okay, so benda-benda macam ni you kena practice. Okay, kadang-kadang okay, dia ada situation. Okay, I give you example. In my team, I have this kind of people where whenever I talk, dia akan macam pop, potong. But as a team lead, takkan I nak marah. Macam, janganlah potong cakap, apalah you ni orang cakap. No, you have to look at the situation. Sometimes people ni dia ada idea. So bila otak dia tak boleh nak tahan idea tu, dia akan pop keluar. Okay? But you have to consider other people with a neurodiverse condition. Okay, what do I mean by neurodiverse condition? Neurodiverse condition adalah orang-orang yang di dalam kategori person with disabilities. Okay, person with a disabilities ni, dia ada kategori neurodiverse ni dalam kategori person with disability ni, di mana orang-orang yang ada ADHD. Okay, you tahu ADHD apa kan? You kalau tak tahu, you boleh Google. ADHD is a person yang you cakap laju, you deliver banyak benda, tapi you tak boleh recall balik apa you cakap. So kadang-kadang I'm one of them lah kan. Sebab kita dah terlalu banyak cakap sangat sampai kita betul lupa apa kita cakap. So these people, dia banyak idea. So they can throw a lot of things. Okay. So as a person, you have to be able to understand the situation, to understand the person. Okay, kalau dia terlampau banyak sangat cakap, terlampau sangat deliver banyak sangat information, you have to calm down the person. Okay, bawa dia pergi satu tempat, duduk dengan dia and cakap dengan dia, okay, now I need you to write down first instead of speaking. Apa yang you rasa penting? What is the information that you want to say to us? Just give bullets dulu. Okay, put down in bullets. That is how you have a active listening to them. Okay, active listening to them is not only verbal, by writing pun boleh. Tapi kelakar kan bila kita cakap pasal active listening, tapi kau tulis pula. No, because when they speak, you wouldn't understand. But when they write, you will understand. So that's why you have to have both ways of communication, which is active listening, and you have to decipher the information that they are telling you. Boleh Okay, so and also, okay, I'm going to touch about the effective communication skills in terms of writing. Budak-budak zaman sekarang especially fresh graduates kan. Dia punya best friend sekarang ChatGPT, betul tak? So when we encounter a lot of people kan, a lot of students, when they are writing to me, they are very heavy menggunakan aplikasi ChatGPT. Okay, so actually it's no harm, tak ada salah mana-mana pun, because ChatGPT is a tool. Okay, it's a tool for you to use. In our digital era, generations of digital sekarang pun, memang kita heavily using ChatGPT. Myself is using ChatGPT, and most of us in Maybank pun gunakan ChatGPT, okay, to improve our working environment and to improve our work qualities, okay. Tetapi what is the implications of using ChatGPT? The implications of using ChatGPT is that you punya thought process tu makin lama makin tak berkembang sebenarnya, okay. Actually, you can't rely on ChatGPT. Okay, you can use ChatGPT to smoothen your work process, tetapi you need to be able to understand apa yang ChatGPT bagi dekat you. Okay, sometimes ChatGPT can be wrong. It can lead to other different scenarios, other different information. So that is why you have to prompt it well, dan you kena tahu apa yang you nak ChatGPT buat untuk you. Okay, you still have to put on your thinking cap. Okay, I give you a closest example. This person is well written. Dia menulis dengan begitu begitu cantiknya ayat dia, sampai rasa macam sampai I question myself, you know. Macam kenapa aku tak sehebat kau menulis kat email macam ni kan. And very impressive. Then I call him for an interview. Then when I call interview, I was like flabbergasted. Okay, macam I tercengang, macam speechless, I tak tahu cakap apa. That person eventually can't even speak at all. Not even a simple English word. Okay, so I macam terkejut. Dan I tanyalah dengan dia, you punya email ni dahsyat tau bahasa-bahasa you kan. Kan you gunakan perkataan audacity, you gunakan you gunakan perkataan macam atrociously. I was like macam you tahu tak apa maksud audacity, atrociously, and extreme, extremely extremely fragmented. You tahu tak benda-benda ni semua kan? So I rasa macam impressed lah you punya vocabulary. Just you have a very wide broad vocabulary. Lepas tu kata, I'm sorry sir, itu semua chat GPT because I just want to find a work. I nak cari kerja. Kata macam, then I start like, oh my, this is not happening. Okay? Kita sebagai seorang banker, me myself personally as a person HR practitioner, right? We don't really care sebenarnya kalau you ni ada broken English ke, kalau you ni tak fasih berbahasa Inggeris ke, kalau you punya tulisan tu pun macam tunggang terbalik sangat ke. We don't care actually. What we are looking is at your attitude sebenarnya, and also we are looking for a person who, not to say write well. Okay, people sometimes do not write well. Okay, tapi there's always a room of improvement for you to do that. Okay, so when you write, you always have to reread balik apa yang you write. Okay, bila you hantar email, you kena tengok. Okay, bila hantar email pun you have to be careful. You have to look at the intended person tu siapa. Kalau kawan-kawan, that's fine. You nak bahasa pasar, tak ada problem. Okay. Kalau kepada working colleagues you pun sama, tak ada masalah. You boleh berbahasa pasar lagi. Macam, hi Aisyah, boleh tak tengok gambar ni kejap? Macam, I dah start dengan benda lama. Tak ada masalah. Because there was internal between you and your team. Okay. Tapi kalau you macam hantar pada orang yang bukan internal team you atau pergi ke external stakeholders you cannot be writing like that. Okay. You kena tulis, cara penulisan you should be more stakeholder management, okay, to send to your punya stakeholders, right? So that's how you write. Effective communication, effective writing communication should involve a very well-structured sentence. Please jot this down. Grammatical errors free, and then you kena tahu past, future, present tense you. Okay. Banyak kan, so kat siapa yang kat sekolah dulu tak memahami dan mendalami apa tu past, future and present tense, ini masalah besar untuk anda semua sekarang ni. Okay, so yeah, you have to know that because sometimes because there are certain people who is very sensitive in terms of the email sent to them. Okay, for example, senior management, dia akan tengok email you, dia akan kaji email you, apa sebenarnya you nak cakap ni. Okay, this is the example that I'm going to give to you on the effective communication and in terms of writing. Alright? So, kalau okay, sekarang mungkin you dah ada a bit of clear picture, okay, on the non-verbal, which is on writing. So, I'm going to touch a bit on the on the verbal. I'm going to touch a bit on the non-verbal communication pula. Okay, apa maksudnya non-verbal ni? Non-verbal ni basically is you punya body language. Okay, kalau you pergi interview, okay, adakah you akan bercakap saja? Kan? If you look at me, bila I tengah buat presentation sekarang kepada you all, adakah I begitu static ataupun there's a lot of movement coming from me? Right? So basically, this is what we call as a communication via body language. Okay? Closest example yang boleh bagi you, kalau you tengah bertelefon dengan kawan you, kan? For example lah, you telefon kawan you tengah bagi direction. Okay, kau pergi, ni kau kat mana sekarang ni? Cuba kau pergi, aku kat kedai mamak ni, nanti kau pergi sana kan. Tangan you bergerak automatically. The person is not even in front of you. Kan, the person is not even in front of you, tapi tangan you bergerak. Aku ada kat sini, aku ada kat sini, okay? So, it's a body language. It comes by natural. So, bila you pergi any carrier conversation, for example, kalau you dapat, okay? Bila you pergi carrier conversation, this body language should be aligned with your communication skills, okay? And then, bila kita bercakap pasal communication skills tadi, I'm going to tie back to all these leadership functions that you kena ada. Okay, as a leader, you cannot be passive sebenarnya. You need to incorporate all this. Okay, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, ni semua kena ada dalam diri you. Alright. So let's get back to the non-verbal body language too. You need to be able to present yourself in the correct body language manner. Okay. So kalau you tengah buat presentation yang begitu serious, for example in front of senior management, you tak boleh macam tiba-tiba, alamak, salah lah ni, I salah cakap lah present macam ni ada dapat figure ni kat mana? You cannot be like that. If you happen to fumble, do not show via your body language. People will definitely detect it. Okay, the first thing that people going to detect is based on your body language yang you are fumbling. Kenapa? Kalau you tengah presentation, you salah, body language you akan trigger. The first thing, body language you akan nampak dulu. That you are struggling to get the answers. Okay? Ataupun you're a bit shaking ke apa, it will tell. Okay, body language itu is a visual. Okay, kalau dalam kita punya human nature, visual is 70%. Kita akan nampak visual dulu. Kan, everything about visual. You akan nampak visual dulu. So that is very crucial. Alright. So and then kalau kita tengok in terms of relation to leadership, communication skills tu dia termasuk sekali dalam emotional intelligence. Okay. You all tahu tak apa tu emotional intelligence? Okay. Basically, emotional intelligence ni is that you are being, bukan kata you kena ada emosi, bukan you kata you kena emosi kan, sikit-sikit marah orang, sikit-sikit macam apa, you get out of my room kan. So dia, emotional intelligence is a skills ataupun is a, kata apa, traits yang ada dekat you to be empathetic. Okay. To listen to other people's problem. To fit in their shoes, to understand their situation and condition. Okay? Contoh, as a leader, you cannot penalize people kalau you tak ada substance. Okay? You cannot penalize people kalau you tak dapat any proof yang mengatakan dia tu salah. Okay? For example, if people complain about you, right? You should get that validated. Katalah apa, bos you kata, Paul, ada orang komplain pasal you lah, Paul. I don't like it, you know. What you need to do, you have to have a conversation with your boss politely and ask him or her, where is the complaint coming from? Can I get it validated? Okay. So, as a leader, you have to put yourself in your. This is an example of a good leader. Put yourself in the shoes. You get the feedback. Yang orang cakap staff you ni orang komplain. You have to get the feedback. You kena tanya dia, you complain on what basis? Kat mana? Kan pasal apa? Dia buat apa? Then get your subordinates and check. So this is perspective coming from a leader. Okay. So and then bila you dah ada benda tersebut intact, then you can always rebut back ataupun justify yourself. Okay. Not to be defensive, tapi adalah untuk justify yourself that it's invalid. Complaint sebenarnya, boss. I would like to reclaim myself. This is the thing that I have found out actually. Okay, this is a part of communication sebenarnya kan. Communication ni sebenarnya can resolve so many things. Okay, if you have a very good communication, you can be a very good leader. Alright. So I believe I have covered all. Do you think that you need more information?
I think actually it's very interesting lah, because I think when people talk about communication, you always think macam, okay, public speaking, how do I communicate depan my boss je? But I think it's very good that you actually covered the different scopes of communication, macam active listening, even down to like leadership juga kan. So I think that's really a lot of good insights on communication, Paul. So from active listening to adaptability and also confidence. So I think it's very clear that strong communication is also a big part of leadership. And leadership, tak semestinya leadership leading a team on its own. Just leading yourself is also, I think, is important juga. Yes. So I think, like I said lah, leadership isn't just about managing people. It's also about taking initiative, so like problem solving, inspiring other people as well in your team. So maybe you can share a little bit about how can you sort of demonstrate leadership when you're working in a team or a project, even if you're not holding a formal leadership role. So maybe Paul, you can share that a bit.
This is a very interesting question. Thank you, Aisha. So, ya betul. Bila kita cakap pasal leadership je, yang pop up to our mind, oh leadership, kena jadi manager, kena jadi team lead, kan? No, actually leadership ni it's a trait sebenarnya. It bukan function. It's not a function. It's a trait dalam diri you. Okay? When we talk about leadership, is that you have your own initiative. Okay? You are taking yourself to another level sebenarnya. Okay? Not to say you kena jadi manager. Tak. Leadership ni dia varies. Dia widespread across yourself, beyond yourself actually. So for example, if you want to talk about leadership, right? Okay, for example, you take initiative. Okay, contohlah you dah kerja esok lusa, then you come to your boss, you say that, okay, my boss, I know that I have my KPI ready. You dah curate into I, then I understand KPI. Tapi I think I want to go extra mile. Okay, I want to do more. Okay, so this is part of your leadership. You take into action benda-benda yang you nak buat. You tell your boss you want to have extra initiative. Okay, you take the initiative and you take a additional responsibility. For example, you volunteer for challenging task ke, ataupun you rasa sekarang ni tengah bekerja, you rasa macam cara kerja aku ni dengan budak-budak lain ni macam tak berapa nak best lah. Orang kata apa? You boleh take the lead, take the initiative. Okay, then also leadership ni pun contohlah zaman universiti you buat assignment kan. Bila you buat assignment je, you rasa macam ada problem dengan assignment kita ni kan, then you highlight that. That is also part of the leadership skills. When you highlighted the problem and you get the problem rectified or resolved. Itu adalah part of the leadership sekali. Okay, so leadership, likewise, I re-emphasize, bukan sekadar function. Okay, it's a trait for everyone to have, or everyone can have it sebenarnya. But leadership ni, you kena faham diri you dulu. You have to understand yourself. How well is your leadership skills? To what extent you want to put your leadership skills onto? Okay, you need to be able to tell that yourself and to identify yourself. Okay, people won't be able to tell you that you have a very strong leadership skills. Yes, people might recognize, but they cannot tell you, okay, you have this kind. Betul, they can recognize, acknowledge, tapi you yourself have to know whether you have the capacity and the capabilities to have that traits or not. Okay, that is one. So take initiative. So lagi satu, the most orang kata the most trait yang we are looking at for leadership under the effective communication for leadership kan, is that you take accountabilities. Okay, you have to exemplify yourself. For example, if ada masalah tu datang daripada you own that mistakes. Okay, you jangan menuding-duding jari macam you tengah menari. Okay, jangan, because of why it won't help you by pointing fingers at other people. Okay, so if you made a mistake, pergi saja ke depan muka bos you, boss, I buat salah. That's all. Okay, I terbuat salah, I need your help. That's all. Okay, of course boss you buat salah apa ni? Of course dia akan. Every bosses will be like that. Okay, but remember, I talk about the emotional intelligence just now. So the boss should have that emotional intelligence first. Okay, so when you are making mistakes, you have to own that. Go to your boss and ask, boss, ada mistake, how am I supposed to rectify? Okay, that is the most that's a very good example for you to have the exemplified accountability. Okay, so bila you under work setting, okay, this is the second example lah. Bila you under work setting, you, for example, Maybank lah. Dekat Maybank, kita punya kerja ni is based on our KPI, Key Performance Index. KPI stand for Key Performance Index. So dalam kita punya Key Performance Index ni, kita ada few items yang kita listed ataupun few projects yang listed untuk kita accomplish. Okay, so when everything has been materialized, we have to work ourselves, okay, to manage to do all this. Okay, that's why dia macam indirectly sebenarnya I nak cakap, you kena ada leadership functions tu atau leadership traits tu dalam diri you untuk you accomplish all these matters. Okay, so kita kena tahu prioritizing. Okay, bila kita cakap prioritizing means that ada yang kerja patut dibuat sekarang, ada kerja patut dibuat kemudian. Okay, tapi I'm telling you, kalau you masuk Maybank, semua benda prioritize. Okay, everything has to be fast, semua benda kena laju. Okay, that is where we always instill the value of agility. Okay, we are very agile as a banker. You need to be very agile in terms of your key deliverables and also your performance. Okay, so you need to have that actually. Alright, so lagi satu, I nak sentuh sikit pasal in terms of in terms of pasal kita punya leadership without form, kita tentu pasal leadership ni kalau you tak dalam formal role you, I want to mention about the apa yang I buat sekarang lah. Okay, the closest example is that I provide mentorship. Okay, I provide mentorship pada my subordinates. Okay, I have a team of 8, bawah I ada 8 orang. Okay, so ramai. Okay, so ramai, bila kita banyak sangat ramai kepala ni, dia macam banyak suara dan macam banyak opinion, banyaklah macam banyak kan. So for you to manage. Okay, tapi myself, I prefer to have a mentorship sebenarnya kan. Macam I don't have any problems communicating with my subordinates. And basically my subordinates is like my friend, you know. Like kita tak ada berkasta-kasta, we don't put any hierarchy, you know. Macam you just my subordinates, you have to be my subordinates. No, I don't practice that kind of manner. Okay, myself, I don't know about the rest, but myself, I did that occasionally. So I provide them a mentorship. For example, they can always, I'm very open for them to come and speak to me and say, Paul, I think I made a mistake, but I need your help. I think the work that I do is not very favoring me right now. You can always have a conversation. Okay, sometimes people are doing the work just because they have to do it. Okay, sometimes they are doing the work without understanding, but from this mentorship, I'll try to help the people to understand actually whatever that you are doing is whatever you are doing is very important and crucial to the bank, to the team, and onto yourself. Okay, so I will have that kind of mentorship approach. I will tell them the importance of doing the work actually, right? That is what my function is. Okay, so begitu juga pada korang semua. Okay, if you notice your friend struggling, if you notice your friend macam tengah drowning, takkanlah you as a human being you akan biarkan kawan-kawan you macam like kena macam ditelan ikan paus macam tu kan. So no, you have to help them, you know. You have to like macam contoh kalau kawan you is asking for help, you need to offer a help to them. Okay, jangan jadi kiasu. Okay, kiasu means that tak apalah kau pergilah sana seorang, aku tak nak ambil kisah pasal kau. No, doesn't work that way. Okay, itu kalau you masuk dalam Maybank is falls under teamwork, under T, kita punya T values. Okay, so you kena faham you need other people. You cannot survive alone. Okay, whatever you do in this world, you cannot do it alone. Okay, every successful people will definitely comes with another people that help the person to be successful. Okay, hence you cannot be working alone. Okay, so that's why mentorship is very, very important. Okay, you have to know your peers, you have to know your friend, you kena provide them solution, you kena help them. Okay, kalau lah kata kawan you tengah ada problem, you tak boleh help them, you have to get someone else to assist them. Okay, it's called leveraging or being resourceful. Alright, so now and also I want to talk about the sorry lah, I memang suka bercakap, so macam I can talk very long, you know. This is my function. So satu lagi I want to touch about facility, macam you have to have a very orang kata apa, facilitate the open communication lah sebenarnya. So you tak boleh macam deny everyone from asking you questions, or deny your punya subordinates datang, or deny your friends ke datang pada you minta your opinion, you cannot. Okay, right. So bila orang datang bertanya pada you, you should respond. Okay, you should respond. You kena being open. Orang bagi feedback kat you pun, you kena be open, you know. Sometimes kita rasa benda tu kita buat betul, tapi dia mata orang benda tu salah kan. So you have to accept them with open heart sebenarnya, open communication. Maybe you can panggil orang tu cakap, I understand that you cakap I buat benda-benda salah, but I just want to understand kat mana yang salahnya and what can improve from this. Okay, maybe you can give example apa yang dari yang salah ni macam mana nak betulkan. You know, you have to get that openness. Be humble. Okay, jangan dalam dunia kita jangan hidup dalam keadaan yang bongkak. Okay, the more you grow, kan, the more macam padi makin berisi makin tunduk, macam tu, kan, so like that. You have to become a person like that. Okay, that is important for you to become a leader. Alright, so makin berisi makin menunduk you, kan. Macam I lah, makin berisi makin duduk je kan. Kan susah nak bangun-bangun macam tu. So yeah, when you you have to be humble in terms of your speaking to other people. Okay, jangan tunjukkan you very arrogant or very cocky or very bongkak lah, senang cerita. So you kena advise the person ataupun open communication ni sangat-sangat penting. Okay, open communication ni can comes to from your friends, from your lecturers, from your peers. Dia boleh datang daripada various channel, but you need to be open. Okay, kalau you rasa macam you tak boleh terima teguran, you tak boleh terima segala feedback, I think it's very difficult for you to progress further lah. Okay, but orang kata kalau orang tu dah marah sangat, kau ni ego betul lah. Macam tu lah lebih kurang bunyi dia. Okay, so you can't be doing that. You can't have that kind of trait lah for you to work later. Okay, for you to be in any leadership roles. Okay, you have to learn. You have to unlearn. Macam Khaireen cakap tadi, you have to unlearn the things. Okay, then you start to relearn back all these traits. Okay, alright. So macam saya cakap tadi, bila you jadi seorang, bila you take your own initiative, bila you want to have this exemplary mode kan, so you kena ada skills yang membantu rakan-rakan you lain, for example like problem solving skills. Okay, katalah macam saya cakap tadi, I suka menggunakan example as mistakes, sebab kita ni manusia tak akan lekang daripada buat salah. Okay, even myself, I did a lot of mistakes, but when you make a mistakes, you have to know how to resolve it. Okay, so you have to have that kind of problem solving and analytic skills. Okay, bila orang you datang dekat, bila kawan-kawan you ataupun siapa-siapa datang dekat you ada masalah, you have to know how to resolve those problems. Kalau tak boleh resolve, leverage to other people ataupun be resourceful by finding what are the means yang kita boleh buat untuk resolve that situation or mistakes. Okay, alright. So I think the last one would be macam saya cakap tadi lah, I memang suka tekankan pasal emotional intelligence. Okay, kita dalam dunia sekarang, I think this is not very new. Dalam dunia sekarang adalah dunia penuh dengan anxiety. Okay, anxiety tahu apa kan? Anxiety macam sekejap cemas kan. It happens to everyone. I tak terkecuali. I had my anxiety this morning. Macam apa pula pukul 7.30 masuk message ni, nak kena resolve banyak benda kan. I had mine this morning. But you have to keep it cool sebenarnya. You have to be rational, then you kena keep yourself calm and understand the situation first. Tengok masalah tu datang daripada mana, siapa yang buat. Lepas tu bila kita tanya siapa yang buat, it's not us to pointing fingers. It's for us to go to that person and work together to resolve. Okay, bukannya kau dah salah lah, kau lah betul kan? No. Okay, you have to go to that person. Babe, ni dah salah ni babe. Jom, progress pada macam kita nak tutup. Macam kita nak buat ni. So work collaboratively. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so contohlah macam kalau kawan-kawan you yang ada anxiety, for example lah, datang kat you, babe, aku ada anxiety ni, tak boleh, macam aku dah menggigil, macam susah, macam aku tak ada jalan, macam ni nak buat ni, macam buat ni. Kan? You as a person, janganlah you cakap kat dia, kau nanti kau pergilah jauh pada aku, kau pergilah settlekan masalah kau sendiri. Jangan. Okay, so as a person, as a kawan atau as a peers, as a colleague, you have to be empathetic sikit, be in his or her situation. Tanya dia, kenapa jadi okay, sekarang ni are you okay, are you calm enough, or definitely dia memang tengah gelabah lah time tu kan. So bawa dia pergi satu tempat atau macam, let's sit and we talk more. Kan, we talk more. Kita just create a conversation dulu sebelum deep dive pada masalah dia. Create conversation bagi dia calm, That is how you supposed to do. Be empathetic sikit. Okay, be empathetic. Contohlah, kalau orang tu pun macam kawan-kawan you tak sempat buat assignment, okay, katalah tak sempat buat assignment, tapi dia ada strong reason kenapa dia tak sempat. Adakah you akan marah kawan you tu? Katalah, aku tak sempat nak siapkan assignment malam ni, besok pagi aku bagi berita sebab mak aku sakit ni, mak aku dia jaga mak aku malam ni. Kan? Will you keep on forcing or what? Okay. Contoh, if a person dalam group assignment you tu have this kind of sense to be a leader ataupun want to take the leadership role, kalau I were in your shoe, I akan buat apa tahu? Okay, tak apa, let's help this person. Dia tak boleh fokus dengan assignment dia, but after all we have to get this thing done. Our assignment has done, our assignment to be done. Kita kena sambil juga, let's delegate the work. Okay, contohlah dia punya satu topik, tapi from that satu topik tu you pecahkan pada kawan-kawan you lain, because dia selama ni dia buat kerja, cumanya pada particular time tu mak dia sakit, dia kena jaga. Okay, You have to be empathetic in terms of this at the point of situation. You tak boleh dah cakap dengan dia, kau tak boleh lah ni kerja kau. No. Okay, she or he have a very strong reason yang mak dia sakit, dia tengah buat kerja. Dia tengah jaga. So you have to take the initiative as a leader ataupun initiative to disseminate benda tu, to delegate to other people. Okay, tak apalah. Macam ni, contohlah Aisyah. Okay? Tak apalah Aisyah. Macam ni lah, kita akan ambil kerja kau ni, kita akan bagi pada across the team member lain untuk tolong. Kan? That's how you do it. Okay, it's only one time sebenarnya benda tu. Okay, you can't be telling them yang macam, then you update kat kawan-kawan lain macam dia tak boleh harap lah dia ni, dia punya kerja tak siap. No, you can't be doing that. She or she have a valid reason, a very strong reason yang kenapa dia tak boleh deliver. That's why empathetic ataupun emotional intelligence ni it's very 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 important. Okay, you tak boleh jadi kiasu, you tak boleh jadi ego. Okay, you have to understand the situation for you to help others. Alright, okay, I think I have covered this. Aisyah.
Yeah. So I think you brought up a lot of important points on leadership as well. Because I remember during my assessment center untuk join Maybank last year, I think you were one of my assessors back then. We were placed in a team, and instead of everyone sort of like competing with each other to talk and make their point, I think for my team, like at least, we created that environment where we were actively encouraging each other to speak. Because I noticed that I had more points than some of the people in my group, and some of them never really got the chance to speak yet. And we agreed to make sure that everyone, had the chance to contribute and shine. So I think that really reflected and helped me realize the importance of like supporting one another, and sort of like ties me back to like the values of Maybank lah. Because I think that was something that the assessors really appreciated. I got that as a feedback as well for myself. So just to recap what Paul said earlier as well, some of the things was to foster leadership and communication skills. Maybe you have to take a lot of initiative, seek feedback, and practice in the real world situations that you're in. So maybe let's just have a last question, being part of the Ambassador program, because I think, Paul, you maybe connected a lot with ambassadors for the past years. So this program maybe allows you to gain practical leadership experience through team projects and mentorship, which can look good on your resume. So I think ni pun ramai orang look forward to this question. So macam in interviews, untuk communicate your experience by using examples yang you can have through this ambassador program. So maybe how do you highlight your leadership results and teamwork through this ambassador program? So maybe my question would be, how can students effectively leverage their ambassador experience in interviews to showcase their leadership and teamwork skills?
Okay, so I think you've been hearing a lot of ambassadors' words today, right? So basically ambassadors is our program, our internal program that is for ambassadors, for people who are still studying in the university. Apa yang Khaireen bagi tahu to you tadi lah. So basically leadership, to be honest, is very very crucial and important for everyone to have. Okay, dia macam ni. Bila you dalam university, it's not about only studying. Okay, it's about for you to making new friends. It's about for you to create a new network. Okay, you dah ada network dah. You ada network zaman sekolah rendah, you dah ada network zaman sekolah menengah, but now you have to create a new network, which is zaman university. So when you have that kind of network, and also you need to portray an exemplary role sebenarnya. Okay, despite of studying lah. So you have to be active in both curricular and extracurricular activities. Okay, kenapa saya cakap you have to be active in the both? Okay, nowadays people are not looking at market lah, job market sekarang So job market sekarang, they are not looking at only academical punya factors saja. Okay, that's why I would like to emphasize again, as extracurricular and curricular activities have to jive together. Okay, if you're bookworm, if you are very smart, lahir-lahir je dah bijak, okay, but if you tak involved with a lot of if you tak ada extracurricular activities, it's very very difficult for you to land a job. Kenapa? Okay, first of all, we cannot judge only on your curricular, which is your punya academic lah. Academically, we cannot judge solely by that, because kita faham you dapat 3.8, you dapat 3.9, kan? you dapat 4 flat in terms of pelajaran. You memang high flyer lah in terms of academic. Tapi you hanya tahu benda tu je apa yang you belajar. Okay. So extracurricular ni tak ada. You tak ada other skills ataupun other traits, ada benda, ada involvement. Okay, for example, okay, tak ada diversity lah. Okay, you for example lah myself, okay, I graduated from a school of mass communication. Okay, mass com yang tak ada apa-apa kena mengena langsung dalam dunia perbankan ni, kan, banking and financial services. Okay, but my involvement in university is very vast. Okay, I involved with a lot of projects. I involved with a lot of societies. Okay, I involved with a lot of communities, community services. Okay, so hence that is what making me to have a lot of traits sebenarnya. So and it's easy for me to sell myself out in the market, to the job market, untuk menjual diri I kepada kepada syarikat-syarikat besar ni, for them to hire me. Okay, I have a lot of friends who is struggling to find job during my time, you know, like because of just they don't have this kind of skills, they don't have this kind of experience sebenarnya. Okay, I bukannya seorang yang very smart. Okay, I bukan seorang yang CGPA you sampai 38, 39, no. Okay, CGPA okay lah, still okay lah kan. Tak adalah bijak sangat ke, tak adalah pandai sangat, but still okay. But I have like balance kan I punya academic dengan I punya extracurricular activities. Okay, kenapa kita tekankan extracurricular activities ni? Okay, it's simple sebenarnya. From the kita dah tahu you pandai Okay, that's despite the story. Kita dah tahu dah you academically you are very very strong in terms of your pelajaran. Tapi kenapa kita tengok extracurricular activities ni adalah untuk kita tengok you punya involvement dan tengok you punya characters. Okay, if you happen to join a lot of societies, you pegang a lot of jawatan, okay, you pegang a lot of orang kata apa, key responsibilities lah orang cakap, that already define a person to have a leadership functions, a leadership roles. Okay, you jadi presiden tu, you jadi presiden ni, so you dah handle contoh event 5,000 orang ke 3,000 orang ke, you have to put that in your, sebenarnya kalau itu benda yang you kena letak dalam resume you lah, tapi from there kita dah understand you have this kind of potentials to become our Maybank, to become our staff sebenarnya. Okay, regardless of I'm speaking regardless of the Maybank lah, I'm speaking about globally. Okay, so yeah, people do tend to look at your extracurricular activities sebenarnya. Okay, and also like kita as a Maybank, we have this program called Ambassador Program. To be part of Ambassador Program pun, we do require for you to have these leadership skills as well, because if you masuk dalam leadership, if you masuk dalam kita punya program ambassador ni, you will not only be our ambassador, you will not be only be our spokesperson at university level, you are doing more things. Okay, you will be exposed to more things under this ambassador program that can develop further your leadership skills yang keesokan hari, di hari yang akan datang ni, you wouldn't apa orang kata apa face any challenges pun bila you nak masuk dalam dunia pekerjaan, because you have a very strong leadership traits. Okay, therefore bila you masuk dalam program ambassador program, I want to tailor back to this program for all this the thing that I've covered. Okay, semua benda yang I cakap tadi adalah semua benda yang boleh untuk you masuk dalam ambassador program ni, and then you can grow from this ambassador program. Okay, it's not about promoting actually. Okay, it's about more to educating all of you the importance of being part of the program and the importance of for you to have these traits. Regardless if you tak nak masuk program ni sekalipun, you ada traits yang boleh berkembangkan you lebih ke hadapan. Okay, for near future. So these all the points that I have given you, the points that I dah cakap dekat you tadi, you have to have that. Tapi kalau you masuk dalam ambassador program ni, you will definitely grow lebih besar. Okay, you will definitely enhance your leadership roles. Okay, because you have to take projects on, you have to do lots of activities. There's a lot of interesting fun facts about ambassador program. I think one of the colleagues here will explain to you more on the ambassador program. Okay, but yes, leadership is very important. Communication also is very important. Remember everybody, communication and leadership have to jalan serentak, concurrently. Okay, you tak boleh tertinggal mana-mana benda ni. Okay, kena jalan serentak. If you are the leader, you need to have a very effective communication. If you have a very effective communication, leadership traits you kena work along as well. Okay, boleh faham semua? I think I'm okay with this, Aisyah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paul. So if all of you tak tahu, Paul was also a graduate from UITM as well. He's one of your alumni. Yeah. So I think
Lupa pula nak cakap benda tu.
yeah, because just now you mentioned you graduated math.
Yeah.
And I was wondering when you were gonna selitkan, oh, you're
Yeah.
alumni. Yeah. But I think tying back to what he said earlier, if you compete with people just on good grades, I rasa macam ramai sangat out there that has good grades. You won't be able to compete with people who has who get 4 flat. Sometimes those are the things yang you think about back in uni. But I think now is a really good time for you to think of a niche. Maybe what makes you special yang orang lain tak ada as well. So during my interview untuk masuk Maybank, these are some of the things that I was able to sell myself to the employers about. So rather than making my whole personality on like, hey, I'm a psychology student, let's sport, blah, 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 macam tu, I can actually tell people that, hey, I won XXX competition, or I led a project in collaboration with XXX, and this has impacted the students in my university. So I think you yourself can judge which one sounds better if you tell people about what you have done back in uni. So I think thank you so much, Paul, for the super insightful session. I think it was a really great discussion. Can everyone just give a virtual round of applause to Paul? So I'm pretty sure we've covered a lot of valuable insights, and I hope it has given you a clear idea on what to expect as you step into the professional world. Okay, so before we move on to the next segment, let's just take a few minutes for a Q&A session. So if you have any questions regarding securing a job or regarding improving skills, maybe you can feel free to raise your hand or drop them in the chat box like earlier. Okay? So while you have Paul here,
I prefer someone
ask him
to
all the questions. Yeah.
I prefer someone to speak with me rather than typing the answers in the chat box. Rather the questions in the chat box.
We have someone raising their hands.
Yes.
Akir. Yeah. Go ahead.
Assalamualaikum, Abang Paul.
Waalaikumsalam, Adik Akir.
Abang Paul.
So saya nak tanya dengan Abang Paul sendiri. As a leader, macam mana kita nak tolerate dengan group members yang intentionally tak buat kerja dia? Because saya tak tahu macam nak handle orang macam ni, sebab saya ni bukan jenis orang yang marah. Macam tu lah, saya tak reti. Boleh saya minta nasihat Abang Paul?
Saya pun bukan seorang jenis yang marah-marah sangat lah. Tapi marah tu ada, cuma bukan marah-marah sangat sama macam you ada Akif. So Akif, to handle this kind of people senang je sebenarnya, kan? Dia tak buat kerja, you have to ensure that by the end of the day you will get it. Okay, for example, ni pernah terjadi zaman-zaman I belajar dululah. Okay, I have kita panggil dulu orang-orang macam ni adalah parasite. Okay, tapi sekarang you all panggil free rider something like that lah, kan? So apa yang I buat dulu as a project coordinator, I will tell the person that, look, this is our project and you are not doing so well, you are not making up to this expectation sekarang ni, kan? Do you know what's the implications? You tahu tak impact dia apa if you tak buat benda macam ni? Kalau you seorang tak buat, you bukan impact diri you saja, dia akan impact orang lain juga. Okay, so but I'm sorry, but I have to report this to our program advisor lah, kan, for example. Okay, lepas tu kalau macam okay, but I appreciate if this kalau you mention kalau I appreciate if you could do this first before this being escalated further to program advisor. Okay, normally I buat benda macam tu. I cakap dia, I akan bagi dia macam ugutan halus sikit. Lepas tu kita akan tengok monitor dia. Okay, kita akan cakap dia akan impact dia punya grade, dia akan impact dia punya ni, because people in the team will be talking about you. Okay, how are you going to improve? Okay, baik ya Abang Paul. Ya, sebenarnya macam I cakap lah, dalam dunia ni kan, kita tak boleh nak keep on marah orang. No, kan? Sebab diorang semua dah besar tau. You are adults kan. You bukan budak-budak macam kena jerit macam jangan melari, jangan main, bukan. Jangan. So you have to tell them be more diplomatic sikit. Okay, be more political approach sikit dengan diorang, you know. Bagi tahu diorang macam bagi diorang consequences, bagi diorang impact apa yang jadi later, you know. Kadang-kadang diorang tak fikir benda tu. Apa nak buat lah benda ni semua. Tak fikir. Tapi kena ingat Akif, ada juga orang yang memang betul sebenarnya dia memang tak nak buat benda tu, dia tak kisah apa jadi kat dia. Okay. Tapi kalau you kata orang yang betul-betul tak nak buat tu, you have to escalate it to higher level, bagi tahu dia you want to remove this person from the team. That's what we do. Okay. Dalam Maybank pun macam tu, sama. Non-performer, out you go. Macam tu. Sebab kita dah bagi you kata-kata semangat. Kita dah pergi bagi dah mentor you. Kita dah bagi you peluang untuk recover, tapi still you tak boleh buat, off you go. Sebab memang you akan tarik the whole team punya strength and contribution. Okay? I harap I menjawab soalan you, Kif.
Terima kasih Abang Paul. Saya akan cuba Abang Paul.
Baik, Alhamdulillah, insyaAllah.
Okay. Any other questions untuk diajukan kepada Abang Paul?
Ada question tak? Abang lah dah tua sikit lah. Ada lagi question nak tanya?
I think you should really take this opportunity lah to tanya to Paul. Yeah. Okay.
Ada dalam chat box tu? Shaliza. Okay,
go ahead.
Yeah, Shaliza. Apa yang saya boleh bantu anda?
Do you hear my voice?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
As the introvert person yang really have a passion to go further, but have a limit on the bergaul dengan orang lah, as in macam tu.
Don't be surprised, Shaliza. Kan? I think introvert person ni, they have a very fantastic communication skills sebenarnya. For introvert person. Extrovert person macam contoh I extrovert person, you can tell, Paul extrovert person, dia boleh bercakap. Kau campak dia mana-mana pun dia bercakap. Tapi introvert, they are very good in the sense of foundation of effective communication skills. Dia very good in terms of writing pun sebenarnya. Okay? So kadang-kadang orang ni, dia tak perlu bercakap macam wow sangat pun. Kan? Diorang ni, betul, diorang ni seorang yang tenang, yang macam dia analyse situation dulu. Macam, okay, aku ni introvert, kau jangan datang kat aku dulu, bagi aku resolve benda dulu. Then they write. Once they write, that's it. Okay? Kalau diorang write pasal you yang tak buat kerja, lagi that's it, gone lah. Kan? Sebab diorang punya introvert, because this happen. Okay? I have some experience working with introvert people. Okay? Dia cakap dengan you macam anggut-anggut, not, ya, tapi dalam email dia bagi kau sekali, habis. Okay? So dia ada person who likes to analyse this thing. Okay? Because introvert person ni sebenarnya boleh can become successful. Okay? Jangan rasa diri tu introvert, there's no chance for you to grow in the organisation. No. Introvert person ni, they have their own specialties and they have their own special skills sebenarnya. Okay? They like to analyse situation. And also diorang pun akan actually untuk bila you bekerja, kita akan acknowledge benda-benda macam tu, because it's okay, bab kata orang putih lah, it takes two to tango kan sebenarnya kan. Kalau dalam team you semua orang macam kalau I team leader, I tak boleh handle weh. Terus sangat cakap kan, kalau semua orang macam I dalam team I cannot handle. I need this kind of people sebenarnya, yang very introvert, you know, yang akan analyse semua benda dulu, yang akan put in paper for me to read later, you know, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so become introvert is no issue sebenarnya. Okay, some introvert person ni, dia memang ada a very powerful communication skills. Okay, sebab diorang ni jenis yang tak bercakap banyak, tapi diorang boleh menulis. Okay, diorang ni jenis yang macam tak bercakap dengan orang sangat, tapi diorang observant. Macam tu. Okay, Shaliza, I hope I answer questions. Shaliza, okay ke?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I think
Ni.
Okay, 2 more questions, right?
Banyak question.
Okay, in your opinion, do working or study environments affect leadership and communication skills?
Sorry, ulang balik soalan tu. Let me just buka chat juga lah.
Okay, in your opinion, Paul, do working or study environments affect your leadership and communication skills?
Okay. I think this is a two questions. So you cakap pasal university dengan working Okay, this is from who just now? In your opinion, do working or study environments affect leadership and communication skills? Yes, of course. Okay, it do plays an important role in terms of working and in terms of your study environments as well. Okay, so bila you belajar, you punya communication style tu a bit different because most of them are your peers, most of them are students, and most of them are doing the same thing. Okay, but when it comes to working, so you have to work in multiple working levels and multiple positions of people dalam organisation tu. So before you masuk ke dalam dunia pekerjaan, dunia universiti you kena ada dulu benda-benda macam ini. Okay, you have to at least have the foundation of the communication dulu. Okay, bila you masuk dalam organisation tu baru you develop more in terms of your leadership, leadership and communication skills. Okay, so memang leadership ni memang akan environment tu memang plays an important role to affect the leadership and communication skills. Okay, tapi kalau macam you are going to a perspective where masa zaman universiti saya tu saya tak banyak expose, ataupun masa zaman universiti saya tu saya tak banyak involve dengan benda-benda yang can enhance my leadership skills semua. Benda-benda macam tu you jangan menitik beratkan sangat. That's okay. So you don't have to put put yourself on a very hard time. Sebabnya directly or indirectly you dah ada dah benda tu sebenarnya. Okay? Sebab you kena ingat dalam zaman university you have to do lots of presentation. Betul? Okay, bila you dah buat assignment you kena present ni. So that is part of leadership, part of the communication skills also. Leadership pula, kat mana kita nampak leadership during the presentation is that when you are presenting your part. Okay, basically if you are presenting your part, you are being accountable for your part. Okay, if you buat mistake dekat part you tu, you are taking accountability onto that. Okay, that is part of leadership skills. Directly or indirectly is already there. You jangan fikirkan, oh I tak pernah involve banyak aktiviti. Jangan fikirkan macam tu. But it's good. Okay, it's good for you to involve with a lot of activities and a lot of extracurricular activities. It's good. It's highly encouraging. Okay, tapi kalau you rasa you tak boleh ikut benda-benda macam tu, this is a very close example in a very small scale, but still you already have this. Okay? Alright. And I think I hope I answer your questions. Ada lagi soalan ke?
Yep, ada a few more questions hanging there, Paul.
Okay.
Salam, Mr. Paul. Based on what you cerita tadi, what can we do to make recruiters notice us, especially if we only have average grades and only simple involvement in extracurricular activities? So are there any extra things we can do to stand out, especially if we only have 1 or 2 years left before going for the internship? I think 1 or 2 years is a lot of time before your internship. I started to kelang kabut probably 2 weeks before my internship. I kept calling Paul punya department, hello, can you please take me in? So yeah. Maybe Paul, you can answer this?
Okay, yeah. This is a very good question. Okay? This is a dilemma coming from a lot of students who have a very average grades. Okay, I am too in that category, average grades. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it. And the beautifulness about Maybank is that we don't discriminate grades. Okay, you tak pandai dalam pelajaran sangat pun tak kisah. You are still welcome to be part of the Maybank team. Tiada masalah, tiada kekangan. I'm telling you, our friend, as one of the recruiter who's been practicing it for quite some time, memang kita tak pernah discriminate you punya CGPAs. Okay, average still okay, right? Kan, you jangan rasa macam alah aku belajar average je, tak pernah ambil kerja. No, look at me, I'm an average guy, average student. I boleh masuk Maybank, I boleh bekerja dah 14 tahun dah. I'm quite steady in my position now, kan? So if you want recruiter to notice you, first of all you need to have a very impressive resume. Okay, I kadang-kadang ada juga buat engagement on resumes, how to do resumes lah. So actually resumes to plays an important role. Okay, resumes is the first way communication for you between you and the recruiters. Okay, kalau you punya resume tak strong, then sampai kat tangan recruiters, definitely kita tak akan tengok you punya resume tu. Okay, ataupun resume tu tak meet the requirement that we are looking for. So it's a waste of time sebenarnya kat situ. Okay, so hence I am advising you, resume you kena buat betul-betul dan kena put lots of information regarding about yourself. Okay. So then second thing, you kata simple involvement in simple involvement in extracurricular activities. That's fine as long as you ada involvement, tak ada masalah. Okay. Sometimes we understand as a student, you mana you nak catch up dengan you punya credit hours, mana lagi you nak involve dengan extracurricular activities. Kita faham benda tu. Okay. No problem at all. We understand the time constraint yang you hadapi. Okay, but it's better for you to have at least one or two rather than have nothing, right? So you tanya lagi, are there any extra things we can do to stand out? Okay, if you are fall into this category when you go to a career conversation, that point of time is about to sell yourself dah. Okay, you dah tak boleh reminisce, you dah tak boleh tengok lah benda-benda yang you dah buat before this. You boleh refer and tell to it, tapi you kena have a very good selling skills. Okay, because masa you pergi career conversation ataupun interview dengan recruiters tu, you kena jual diri you. Okay, macam mana nak jual diri you? By telling a little bit about yourself, by telling what have you done, what do you have contributed. Okay. Kalau you tak ada extracurricular activities, tak mengapa. You talk about whatever things happen in dalam university years you. Okay. You cakap lah, okay, you ada belajar sibuk-sibuk ni, macam I kind of like doing maths, I kind of like doing finance. Okay, macam I'm satu boat dengan Khaireen. Kalau dia karam, I pun karam sama-sama dengan dia. You know, because me myself, I don't like maths. Okay, I don't like numbers. Okay, but unfortunately, my function, I have to do lots of numbers right now. So macam, yeah, it is a way of learning lah sebenarnya. Okay. So you have to tell the recruiter, okay, regardless of you punya involvement tak very strong, you punya belajar pun so-so, tapi you have to let the recruiters know that you have a passion, okay, you want to do more, you want to learn more, okay, sebab as a recruiter, we have to constantly remind ourselves not to be very judgy, okay, not to be very mean, that's why it's important for us to have emotional intelligence. You know, when we're assessing our candidates, we have to put that thinking hat, that emotional intelligence hat, you know, for us to be able to understand. Despite of you tak ada involvement, despite of you punya belajar average, but you may be good at something else. Okay, you are maybe good. Dia sama macam budak-budak, macam contoh yang masuk university, yang dengan masuk polytechnics ataupun bukan polytechnics lah, ataupun macam belajar zaman sekolah menengah kan kita ada dua, sekolah menengah kebangsaan dengan sekolah dengan college vocational. Okay, sekolah menengah ni mungkin kebanyakan diorang very highly intellectual in terms of academic, tapi you have to on college vocational pula, they are very highly on technicals. Okay, sometimes because diorang tidak bermakna diorang tak pandai dalam pelajaran, diorang tak pandai dalam benda-benda lain. Okay, bukanlah kata budak-budak college vocational tak pandai, tapi they are very hands on dengan all this macam unlike university, macam university diorang very theoretical, tapi yang budak-budak yang vocational ni they are very hands on, you know, the practical, very practical macam tu. Okay, so it's a two situation yang kita kena tengok benda ni. Sama lah macam kes-kes yang macam ni, yang you punya soalan ni, sama macam tu. We cannot solely depending on your academic backgrounds, academic qualifications, or your punya extracurricular activities, but we are looking at other manner as well. Your traits, your credibility, your capabilities, your enthusiasm, maybe your attitude, your aptitude, benda-benda macam tu semua kita akan incorporate. Kata budak ni okey lah, budak ni taklah berapa strong sangat academic, tapi budak ni kalau masuk department ni dia boleh excel. That's how we do it in Maybank sebenarnya. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this. What you need to worry is that you have to improve in terms of your selling skills. Selling apa? Selling yourself to the recruiters. Okay, I hope I answer your questions.
Alright, thank you, Paul. I think 3 more questions. I think we can address this lah before we go on to the next session. Since everyone is very engaged in Abang Paul today. Okay, so Gloria asked, what if someone wants to work but weak in speaking English, yet at the same time they have a good leadership skill and can be flexible in any situation? So what would they do? Are they still eligible to be hired even weak in speaking? Any advice you can give?
Okay, it's a good question. Remember tak I cakap tadi, communication is only not about speaking. Sometimes orang tak boleh cakap tapi orang boleh menulis, kan? So macam contoh, if I want to simplify the answers for your question, right? Yes, we do hire this kind of people into the bank. Okay, remember, it's all co-interrelated. Okay, between introvert extrovert, between writing and between non-verbal and verbal communication, is all interrelated sebenarnya benda ni. Okay, but during your conversation or during your interview, okay, recruiter memang kebiasaannya akan start dengan English. Okay, so macam like myself, even kalau I masuk dalam interview room, I interview my candidates, I will converse myself in English. Okay, katalah that candidate tu dia tak berapa mahir berbahasa Inggeris ataupun he or she have very limited proficiency in terms of English. That's fine sebenarnya. Tapi what we want to look at is that your enthusiasm to try, semangat you untuk mencuba. Kita nak tengok benda tu. Kalau you have a very broken English sekalipun but understandable, that's okay. Tiada masalah. You can answer, you can speak with that. Okay, kita bukanlah kejam cakap English you teruk sangat lah, macam tak payahlah cakap English. No, we don't do that. We have to be very professional. Kalau betul-betul kita tak faham, kita akan cakap that's fine, I think you're quite struggling in terms of your English, and we can continue this we can continue this in the language that you're quite comfortable. Okay, tapi you kena faham juga, bila you cakap in the language that you're quite comfortable, janganlah you cakap Cina pula dengan orang yang tak faham bahasa Cina, kan? So you have to understand the situation and analyze the situation. Okay, tetapi my simple advice kepada adik-adik sekalian, bila masuk interview, jangan straight away cakap, boleh tak saya cakap bahasa Melayu? Okay, that is a no-go, adik-adik. Please bear in mind, please note yourself, and please keep on reminding yourself that do not ask that question up front. Okay, you need to be able to you need to try to speak in English. Even so, kalau you lemah dalam bahasa Inggeris, try and speak. There's no harm. Okay. Lepas tu, kalau tiba-tiba interviewer tu switch bahasa pergi bahasa Melayu, do not ever tend to follow recruiter tu cakap bahasa Melayu. Kenapa? There's a trick to it. Okay. If I memang suka, I dah cakap, dah bombang dari English ni, tiba-tiba tukar bahasa Melayu, kan? So nanti tiba-tiba budak tu jadi terus selesa gila dan cakap bahasa Melayu. But that is very dangerous. Because of why? Because you are easily influenced. Okay? And we don't want most people to be involved in that situation where people get easily influenced. Okay? Right? So jangan teruskan dalam bahasa Melayu. Cakap je dalam bahasa Inggeris. Because you have to set the right mind yang my interview dah start dalam English, so I have to continue English. Okay, so please be careful on this. Okay, and coming back to Gloria questions, yes, we do hire this kind of people into the bank, into the organization, but as much as we want, she or he have to learn as fast as they can to improve their communication skills in terms of English. Okay, but for a start, there's no harm, there's no discrimination. Yes, you can try, but we will always look at your enthusiasm to try and speak English as much as possible. Okay?
All right, thank you.
All right.
So I think in the interest of time, we'll have to cut the questions. Maybe if you have further questions, you can definitely reach out to Paul on LinkedIn. Maybe Paul, you can link your LinkedIn in the chat box and see. And also maybe you can try to answer the 2 questions that are still in the chat box. The last 2 questions there. All right. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. I'm so happy that everyone is super engaged in this session dengan Abang Paul.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So, but before we wrap this session, So before we end our session, we're gonna have one more slot, which is to explore more on the role of ambassadors and how it connects students dengan the industry. So this is something that I think everyone is excited to hear about, kan? So let's take it a step further and talk about the Global Ambassadors Program for 2025. So this initiative isn't just about bridging students and Maybank. It's also a platform that provides hands-on experience, global networking, and even prioritized career opportunities. So who better to share more about this than the very person behind this? So I'm very, very excited to introduce Filzaf, the curator of the Global Ambassadors Program. So she has played a key role in shaping this initiative, and today she'll walk us through what this program is all about. So how it works and how you can be a part of it. Similar to me, Filza actually studied Bachelor's of Science in Psychology at the University of Warwick in the UK. She loves designing clothes and making wearable art. So macam jahit baju, and she even had her own fashion show in the UK when she was studying. So Filza also has 2 cats and she loves spending time with her family. So before we start, maybe Filza, you can introduce yourself first.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? You dengar? Okay, my name is Filza. I'm the co-lead for the Global Ambassador Program for this year. I'm also a Global Maybank Apprentice, same like Aisha and Khaireen. Thank you so much to all of my colleagues for speaking earlier. That was a very interesting talk and a very, very good advice to the student here. Thank you juga to Dr. Muhammad Nizam bin Yunus, Dekan Hal Ehwal Pelajar College Pengajian Komputeran Informatik dan Matematik, pihak AJK yang menjalankan talk ini dan juga student-student semua. Okay, hello, nama saya Filza. As Aisha mentioned tadi, I studied psychology at the University of Warwick in UK. I am actually a YTP Mara scholar. Before that, I took International Baccalaureate in College Mara Banting. And before that, I took my SPM in MRSM Tunggal Bubble. Anyone here from MRSM?
Anya.
Yeah, okay. Hello, my alumni MRSM sekalian. Okay. So, apa lagi about me? Currently, I am rotating. So, the Global Maybank Apprentice, we all rotate in different departments throughout Maybank. So, currently, we're under talent attraction. So, basically, we engage with students and other talents to recruit them into Maybank lah. So that's why I got to be in charge of the Global Ambassadors Program for this year. So I think that's it about me. I will get to know more in the talk in this session. So let's start with the Global Ambassador Program lah. So basically, this program is a student community throughout Malaysia and throughout global as well, designed to bridge the gap between Maybank and the undergraduate students lah. So the function of this program is to bring the Maybank employee value proposition, our culture, our values to life through creating impactful community initiatives. So I'm pretty sure you must be wondering, Ambassador ni apa? What do we have to represent for Maybank? Nak jual credit card ke dekat the other students? Nak buat bank account ke? Nak jual auto financing kereta ke? Like what is it actually? So basically, okay, coming from the human capital side of this, apa yang kita nak tunjukkan in Ambassador ni is actually how internally we as Maybankers promote and encourage other Maybankers to grow. So as you all know, Maybank is the largest financial institution in Malaysia. Also, we are one of the largest employers. Does anyone here knows ada berapa Maybankers in Malaysia? Okay, tak apa. Answer to think about. Kita ada 44,000 throughout Malaysia. So all the people that you see in branches, and kita orang dekat Menara Maybank dekat KL. So how do we actually foster all of our employees dekat sini? So our employee value proposition is about pushing our employees to do more, as in macam promoting them to go ahead, do this challenge, go ahead, lead, go ahead, create what you want to create. And we want that to be reflected externally as well. So it is one of the initiatives lah for this ambassador. So this is one of the vehicles. So apa yang kita nak buat for this student is that we are going to foster you to create your personal branding, your personal growth. Sama macam apa yang Aisha, Khaireen and Paul cakap. If you're sitting in an interview room with 5 other people with the same academic background as you, what makes you different from them? If you're smart, they're also smart. So apa yang you can offer to them that is different. And going into this next gen skills in the future kan. Right now, okay, contohnya in Maybank, as what my boss said. Everyone is at their maximum productivity je. Meaning they do everything at their best level already. So like for you, example, as students, you're scoring really well, you're putting your effort as a student really well, but what makes you different than the other student, your high achievers as well? So leadership, communication, teamwork, ideation, execution. So this ambassador, at the end of it, what we want you to be is holistic. Semua benda you boleh buat. And during this semester is how we teach you to gain those skills lah. So at the same time, what you're doing is that you become a social agent, our roadshow volunteers, our brand ambassador. So you showcase your project. the initiative that you will be doing to your universities and also outside. Okay, next slide. Okay, so Ambassador ni is not only in Malaysia. As you know, Maybank is a Malaysia punya company, but we have present in other countries as well. So currently Ambassador ni kita ada in 4 other countries lah kalau exclude Malaysia. So we have Malaysia, we have Singapore, we have Indonesia, we have Cambodia, and this year we are going into Philippines. So Ambassador ni is actually built in 2017 with only 30 people only, 30 students only. And now we've expanded, and we have around 400 each year. So it's a very large student community lah. So in this program, you're not only get to be able to talk with other student ambassadors as well in Malaysia, but also outside of Malaysia. So communication, how do you engage with people in Singapore, for example? How do you engage with ambassadors in Cambodia, Philippines? So these people, semua ada different cultures, semua ada different background. So these will help you gain more exposure through different minded people. For example, easy example in Malaysia saja. Okay, people from UiTM, people from other university, people from UK university, different backgrounds, all of them have different thinking processes. And this is going to be more apparent when you masuk workplace. Not everyone is going to have the same thinking processes as you. Contohnya, okay, now you guys are cocoon, shelter into the people that you know, your environment. Bila korang masuk workplace, korang akan jumpa people from different background with different thinking processes. I think that is one of the challenges that I had when I entered the workforce. I'm like, why is she working like this? Why is her thinking like this? And yeah, they're like that. So it's not only just to one person, but also macam like different people have different backgrounds. So the comprehensiveness of that is one thing. So itulah, you can explore cultures, you can explore people values, and this ambassador is that into gaining that exposure. And then the next one is, what are the perks of being a Maybank ambassador? So beside, you will get to create your own project, which we will explore later, what kind of project it is. You will get prioritized career and internship opportunities. So dekat Maybank ni, already being a very large organisation, macam mana you want to masuk into Maybank? It's not an easy organisation to enter. So there are thousands and thousands of other applicants with good academic achievement yang beratur nak masuk. So by being an ambassador, you're already one step into Maybank. And also like what Aisha, Khaireen and Paul said, you don't specifically need a banking background to go into Maybank lah. So for example, as GMAP ourselves, Global Maybank Apprentice, so we are from non-banking background. There are people also in this program with banking background, but you can curate your own journey, meaning that Maybank foster us to masuk, okay, now we're in human capital, which is we're taking care of the people. And then we can go into strategy, how to make Maybank lagi besar. For example, transformation, how to go into AI, technology, and then we go into corporate finance, the banking product. So it's a very wide range. Don't think of Maybank as just a bank transaction. Your May app is way more than that, okay? Next, you get to level up your personal brand lah. Sama macam what they say tadi, what can you offer aside from being a good academic achiever? Even if you're not good, even if you are not as good in your academy as other people, that does not make you weak, okay? You always have other strength that other people don't have. Everyone has their own unique strength, and I feel like this ambassador program will help you foster and bring out the personal strength that you have lah. And then the third one, you will be mentored by young Maybankers. So each of the ambassador, you will be attached to a buddy. Buddy meaning macam example in this talk is Aisha and Khaireen. So you will get to be mentored by them personally. So you can think of us as like your kakak, your abang, who's there to guide you in career, apa opportunities yang you ada. Contohnya you study psychology like us. So in Maybank itself, if you're going to permanent hire, what are the psychology jobs that you can get? What can you apply, okay? And then the global networking opportunities lah, where you can engage with people from different parts of the world. So in Philippines, how do they interact with people? How do you understand emotional intelligence? How do you understand people from different cultures? And then the fifth one is you gain VIP access to exclusive Maybank events. So we do have our own internally Maybank events we have award shows, we have berbuka puasa, we have sambutan Hari Raya. So we invite ambassadors to be a part of us. We also have Global CR Day, where Maybankers all across the world will take on a CR project. So what we did last year is that we renovated Rumah Titian Kasih in KL, an orphanage. So we painted, we changed their books. So all of this, we do it together with ambassadors. So not only you get to do community impactful initiative, you also get to do it with Maybankers. Okay, and then the next one is be part of a global youth movement. So all of this ties together in ambassador, making your country, making the place that you live in better. Okay, and last but not least is boost graduate employability. All right, I think that's very self-explanatory from the thoughts that we've been through today. All right, next slide. Okay, before that, patah balik, I want to say about the duration and the commitment of this program lah. So basically, right now we are into recruitment. Sebenarnya kita dah tutup dah recruitment, tapi kita memang buka special untuk UiTM lah today. So I want you guys to sign up. UiTM, as you know, is one of the largest university and the biggest student enrollment in Malaysia. So kita tak nak lah our ambassador ni, universiti lain pun banyak, but UiTM mana? Like where are the people from UiTM ni, betul tak? So do sign up, and then in March, we are going to have onboarding. So onboarding meaning you guys will have like macam a vacation, like workshop, vacation macam tu dekat Maybank Academy. So it will be for one night, and then you will get to network with high profile Maybankers, you get to network with our bosses, you get to meet your buddies, and then you get to engage. Okay, this is the first step. Apa yang you expect from us being an ambassador? So that is our first contact after you are officially an ambassador. You guys will also get fun collaterals, ada t-shirt, ada buku, ada, I don't know, keychain, cap, fun stuff and things like that. Okay, and then it will be on for a year. So korang akan graduate around November to December. So during this one whole year is where you guys will get to create your own projects. You get to join our events. You get to join other ambassadors for your events. Okay? All right. Next question. Thank you, Aisha. Back to you.
Alright, thank you so much, Filza, for sharing. I think she shared a lot on what ambassadors is, upper ambassadors, and also the perks of being an ambassador. So I think some of you should be sold already on it, but just in case some of you still aren't sold on being an ambassador, I think one of the exciting aspects of this program is that students, you don't just participate and become an ambassador, you actually get to curate your own initiatives. So macam, let's say Filza, she was interested in fashion, right? So some of the initiatives that she might want to do is like maybe buat a fashion show in Maybank with like SMEs and small businesses. So I think that's something that we want to foster for the students. So I'm sure all of you dekat sini have your own interests and something that you may just think of as a dream of doing. So I think through this program, it's you are able to do these initiatives. So Filza, maybe you can share with us, how do ambassadors design and implement their own projects while working with teammates and while also balancing this with their studies, because I'm sure all of them here are still very, very busy during their studies. So how do they balance between these two?
Betul. So I'm sure you guys are very busy as students. You guys have your academic commitments and we fully respect that. So that's why our program is very flexible. So, okay, basically ambassador, they will get a chance to initiate their own project. So you guys will be put into teams and you guys will get to initiate your own project, meaning based on your passion, based on your interest. Contohnya korang nak ketengahkan issue about sustainability, about underprivileged children, about raising funds for cat shelter, for example, or even your passion and interest. Like for me, I like to do fashion, I like to create my own clothes. So where do I showcase all of these things to the world when I'm just a student? Betul tak? So this is what the platform is all about. It is a stage for you to showcase what you can do outside of your academics. And it is definitely okay if you're, for example, introvert, if you're shy, Sebab the function of this program is not for you to like macam, okay, show us what you can do. We are here to help you. Okay, contohnya you nak create a blood donation drive. We did that. Some of the ambassadors did that at their university ni, dekat University Teknologi Mara, Puncak Alam NUM. So how do you do that exactly? So we have Maybankers there to help you. And at the end of the day, you get to go into an interview room and say, this is the initiative that I do. And that is something different because do you think everyone gets to do that? Not everyone gets to do that, okay? And then creating your own project. Okay, for example, like me, when I was studying psychology, something very, very sciencey. But I know one thing for a fact, I don't want to become a therapist. I nak jaga-jaga orang yang sakit-sakit mental ni kan. So like, I want to explore my passion. I want to do fashion. So I taught myself how to sew, and then I engage with people, organization, and then from there I get to curate my own platform and then showcase my baju ni to the world. I buat baju-baju kurung, baju raya, and I buat a mini fashion show dekat UK. Tunjuk baju raya ni dekat orang-orang dekat UK, dekat sana. And I wish I had a mentor or like a platform to guide me. And that's why I want to be in charge of the Global Ambassador Program. I want to be that platform for you to showcase what you can do to the world lah. Okay, so for example, hari tu ada orang minat photography, ada orang minat content creating, ada orang minat buat robot for example. So be as creative as you want to be, and then be an ambassador, and we'll help you to showcase that to the world basically. So that is what Maybank is all about. It's about growth and community. Okay, at the same time, you can think about how this passion and interest can help contribute to your community, to community social impact. So you buat fundraising for your passion and interest too. And then that fundraising, you go to like kasih an orphanage for example, kasih a cat shelter for example. So banyak sangat activity, and I feel like it's not limited at all. You guys can definitely produce new ideas, something that no one has ever think of before, and then we'll see how we can make that happen from here, okay? So I think that's about it, but let us show what the previous ambassador has do. Can the screen be shared? Boleh ke? Okay, so this is what we've done in Malaysia. So Ambassador Hangout, you get to hang out with your buddies. So buddies like Khaireen, buddies like Aisha, everyone will have their own buddy. So you will have fully your own kakak, your own abang to mentor you throughout the year. And then we did that Global CR Day at Rumah Titian Kasih with Annie. We have our book bazaar dekat Menara Maybank. Of course, you guys will get a corporate tour of the Maybank Tower, see how we work, see what we do in here. You guys will get to create your own sports hangout. So for example, some of you are very passionate in pickleball, very passionate in badminton. So those are some of the initiatives that you can do, okay? And then blood donation drive, and of course on-campus engagement. So another initiative that you can do, you know that your students, your peers, your friends are very nervous, are very scared about the working world. So what can you do? You can make a CV workshop with Maybankers there to help guide them. You can make an interview punya mentor session. So they will help the students on how to speak better during an interview. Like Paul said, emotional intelligence is important. Communication skill is important. So these are the things that we are going to help you gain. And from the initiatives that you guys do, you will get to gain it as well. Because you are not doing this alone. You will work with people from different academic backgrounds, from different thinking processes. So how do you collectively collect all of these ideas and make it into something that has an output lah, basically. Okay, and the next slide, we also have in tukar ke next slide. Okay, in Indonesia. So Ramadan at Maybank Tower, Indonesia, a time of giving. So one of our activities that we plan to do also this year is berbuka puasa dengan the ambassadors lah. And then mini get together, one-on-one session with ambassadors, campus tour to Maybank Tower. So it's not just your own project and that's about it. It's a two-way conversation. So what we can do for you, what you can do for us, what we can give back to the community out here. Okay, next one is in Singapore. So in Singapore, we have Maybank Group Global CR Day. We have up close with senior management at Maybank office. So imagine you as students, you get to speak with high profile Maybankers that and not a lot of people will get to do. Not even all of the Maybankers have the privilege untuk cakap to heads, to senior management. Macam Paul tadi, not everyone in Maybank has the privilege to talk to Paul. So that is what an opportunity it is for ambassador. You get to network with people from high profiles. Okay, Maybank Singapore Employee Engagement Night. You get to see how we celebrate our employees, how we appreciate them, and engagement with Singapore ambassadors lah. So imagine in Malaysia you have 200 to 300 ambassadors. So how do you engage with people? How do you communicate with all this to make it a useful platform? Okay. So I think that's it for this question. Back to you, Aisha.
Thank you so much, Filza. So I think one of the key parts that you got also is that one, you dapat curate your own projects, and then another one is you actually get mentorship provided by Maybank professionals. I think you won't really realize how important mentorship is until you actually need it one day. Macam when you feel that you're stuck, I think these mentors are able to push you forward, dapat maybe encourage you to be going beyond your limits lah actually. So even as someone who just entered the bank and just started my career, I think I still need a lot of mentorship from senior leaders as well. So this is one of the opportunities that you will get when you join Ambassadors ni. So maybe every great challenge, every great opportunity comes with its own challenges. So tadi we also already shared about how to balance between these two, right? Okay, so maybe Filza, you can share what are some of the common challenges that ambassadors might face, and how can overcoming these challenges help them develop and grow? And also, could you maybe tell us more about the prioritized career and internship opportunities? Because I think ramai orang might be interested in that. Like, what does it mean that they have a prioritized career and internship opportunities for these ambassadors?
Okay. For challenges, of course, first and foremost, you guys are students. That is your main responsibility. So this is something outside of your academic curricula. So it is your extracurricular activity lah. So of course, time management is going to be something that you will have to learn throughout this ambassador program. So how you manage your own time. That's why we give the flexibility of you being able to plan when your project is going to be. So for example, if your exam is in June, don't plan to have your project in August, make it in April, for example. Okay, and then another challenge would be conflicting ideas. Contohnya, okay, I want to make a fashion show, but someone from my team, she wants to make a robot punya show. So how do you work together on that? I want you to stop for a second and think, how do fashion and robot could work together and somehow make a social impact. So it's not just macam I nak showcase apa yang I boleh buat to the world, but how with your passion and interest that can be a strength to you, and also it can contribute to the people in Malaysia and globally as well. So something for you to think about on how to overcome that, how to do it better. I'm pretty sure you guys are smart enough to think about it. And then the next one is working with teammates from different backgrounds lah. So someone did ask tadi kan to Paul, like, okay, if teammate dia lemah, for example, how do you help her be more productive in your team? Okay, I think everyone will at least experience the encounter once in their life. So what the advice that I've received from other people when I ask this question is that focus on their strength. Okay, tak semua orang boleh buat semua benda. You might be someone yang all-rounder, but not everyone in the world is an all-rounder like you. So you focus on their strength. Contohnya dia pandai buat comms, dia pandai menulis. So leverage on that. Contohnya dia pandai bercakap, leverage on that. So in presentation, contohnya orang ni pandai keluarkan ideas. Okay, nak buat ni, nak buat ni, nak buat ni, nak buat ni. And ada orang, dia not an idea person. Dia more on execution. Okay, you give me this, I boleh gerak. But I cannot start from scratch. So leverage on that. So that's why you are in a team, because you're not supposed to work alone. You're not supposed to do end-to-end alone. So focus on their strength, and that is how you can spot a good leader. They know how to leverage on people's strength. Okay? And I think about the prioritized and career internship opportunities too. Okay, so of course you'll be the first to know what vacancies we have in terms of internship, in terms of career as well. So nanti bila you guys masuk dah jadi official ambassador, we will take your dates of like bila korang punya internship date tu, and we will see how we can adjust that. Okay, and then of course you guys are already one step into Maybank, meaning that people in here, me, Aisha, Khaireen, all the other buddies, we have a lot of people in this team already know who you are, already know your strengths, already know that you can offer us something. So that gives you an advantage because, okay, kita orang kenal you. So we know what you can deliver compared to a person that we totally don't know. So that's why it's good for you to try out ambassadors. And then we will cater to your internship date is this and that. So we will see how we can adjust to that lah. And career wise, okay. Contohnya you nak masuk GMAT macam kita orang. So what are the skills that you need? What are the things that you need to prepare going into the interview session? Because for us, it's not a one-to-one interview. It's not I masuk bilik, the recruiter tanya, what can you offer? It's very different compared to other assessment in other companies. And then apa lagi program, apa lagi vacancies that we have in Maybank, those are the things that you guys will get exposure with lah. So I would say it's a one step in, and you guys will get the right exposure to it on what is the best suitable pathway for you if you want to proceed in Maybank, for example, and also even in other organization as well, because you already have that exposure through the working environment. Okay, so that's about it. Back to you, Aisha.
Thank you so much, Filza. So I think just one last thing that I wanted to ask is for students who are interested in joining, of course, how and when can they sign up to become an ambassador? Macam mana diorang nak sign up untuk jadi ambassadors ni? And bila diorang dah sign up, once they already signed up, what are the next steps of the selection process? Macam kena go through interview ke, or is there anything that they have to do untuk be a part of this ambassador program?
Okay, so first and foremost, not everyone yang apply to ambassador akan dapat jadi ambassador lah. We, like Paul said, our main point, our main focus is we want people who actually wants it, has the enthusiasm for it, and can do it. Kalau you lack of skills ke apa, tu belakang cerita, pandai English ke apa, tu belakang cerita, because we're here for you. We're not here to ambil you masuk kerja yet. Faham tak? So this is the platform for you to learn and grow. Okay, so for signing up, you guys can sign this QR code that you see here, and then just enter the necessary details and then submit. And then later on, we will text you on the next step, which is you guys will have to make a video. So this video, you guys will have to say, why do you want to enter Global Ambassadors? What do you want to grow? What do you want, at the end of the day, you keluar ambassador, apa yang you nak dapat, okay? And then more details we will email you on later. And then if you lepas that stage, we have a virtual assessment. So this is not a one-to-one interview. It's not for us to macam tengok, okay, these are the top ones. No, we are looking at your enthusiasm and your communication. So it's more of like for us to get to know you. So this virtual assessment, we will be having it in the upcoming week or so. So stay tuned for that. So the chosen one yang tadi anda sign up tadi, we will move you guys into the virtual session. So you guys will play games, get to know the buddies, and then get to know your teammates as well. So from here, we will assess your teamwork, your communication, your presentation skill. Okay, it's not about your academic achievement or anything as such. Okay, all right. So and then after that, lepas you dah lepas that virtual session, baru kita akan onboard you guys as ambassador, where you guys are fully officially an ambassador lah. So what we did actually Saturday lepas dekat Sawit Pyramid, if any of you been to Sawit Pyramid punya career fair, dekat bawah tu, dekat atas tu we have the physical session for ambassador. So kita dah assess around 100 ambassador dekat situ. Physically, kita get to know them, they get to know their teammates, they get to test their communication skills, presentation skills, and we have people from high profile as well to assess, and we have our bosses dekat situ, so it's not just us. Okay, and then itulah, so that is what we want to replicate for the virtual session as well. So if it's still unclear, you guys can just pop into the chat box and then I'll answer you guys lah. Okay, back to you, Aisha.
Thank you so much again, Filza. So I think all of you have more clarity on the ambassadors program right now, right? Okay, so just in case masih ada anyone yang tak faham what the ambassadors is all about, what else can you do as an ambassador? So I think I will just open the session untuk question and answer session. So if you have any questions, or maybe if it's masih tak clear on how to apply to become an ambassador or what you have to do, anything related to ambassador, you can either type it in the chat box or you can unmute and ask the question to Filza right now. This is the best opportunity untuk you tanya the soalan lah, because after this might be hard to connect with Filza or any of us untuk ask about the ambassadors program as well. Yep. Okay, I see Zikri. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. The truth is I have always been interested on the ambassador program, but unfortunately next semester I have already start my internship. My question is that are there any opportunities other than the ambassador program for me to join, or am I still eligible to join this program?
To me, yep, you are eligible to join this program. So internship wise, kita tak limited for you to just stay in Maybank. What we want the ambassador to do is that, okay, Maybank je is the only ambassador yang korang masuk. Tak naklah korang masuk Maybank, lepas tu korang masuk other banking punya ambassador. So it's going to be conflicting lah. Tapi in terms of internship, if you have already decided on an internship that you want to go into, then boleh je proceed with that. If you want to see how you can go into Maybank nanti, kita orang boleh tolong juga. But only if you are officially an ambassador. So that privilege will be only given to ambassador saja. So it's not to every student kita buka, okay, siapa nak internship dekat Maybank. So those that are selected as ambassadors sajalah will have that privilege.
No. What I meant is next week I have started my internship for the upcoming semester.
Next week ke? ZK was it?
Yes, next week I have started my internship.
Are you graduating already?
No. So
No.
like
You graduating bila? Is it this year or next year?
Estimation date is this year.
Around March ke macam mana?
Around August.
August. Then macam tu I think should be no problem lah. You can just sign up first for it. If anything, we'll let you know lah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Zikri, for your question. Alright, so any other questions regarding ambassadors yang you nak tahu? Kalau you're shy, you can always type in the chat box, or you can always reach out to any of us on LinkedIn. I have already sent the link to our LinkedIn profiles. Please help yourselves untuk kacau kita orang anytime to ask about ambassadors, how to apply, or if you need any help regarding anything, please reach out to us on LinkedIn. Yep. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so I assume there's no more questions from the floor for now. Tapi if ada any questions, you can just always type in the chat box or reach out to us, okay? Okay, so thank you so much, Filza, for sharing such a comprehensive look into the Global Ambassadors Program for this year. It's really incredible to see how this initiative really empowers the students with experiences in real life, mentorship, and of course the career opportunities while they're still here in their university years. Okay, so to all of you here, if you're looking to take your university experience beyond just belajar in the classrooms, if you not build your leadership skills, build your communication skills, like what was mentioned earlier, and maybe if you want to connect with Maybank on a global level, and if you want to connect with people inside Maybank itself, this is really your chance. So be sure to check out the registration. You can scan the QR code yang on the screen ni sekarang, and take that first step lah. This is one of the first steps you can take untuk improve those skills that we have talked about earlier. So with that, I think we wrap up today's session. A very huge thank you to Filza, Paul earlier, and also Khaireen, all of our speakers earlier, for sharing their insights and taking their time to be a part of this session. And thank you so much to all 150 of you who are always connected and enthusiastic and have been engaging throughout the session. So we really look forward to seeing some of you as the future ambassadors. I really look forward to seeing all 150 of you in the assessment, hopefully, and as ambassadors itself. So thank you so much, everyone. I look forward to also connect with you on LinkedIn and etc. Okay, thank you. I think I'll pass it back to the pengerusi majlis.
Kepada Cik Aisyah dan kepada kesemua tiga-tiga panel kita pada hari ini, Cik Filzah dan Abang Naufal ataupun Abang Paul dan juga Cik Khaireen. Okay.
Sekarang, para hadirin diminta bersedia untuk menyanyikan lagu UiTM di Hatiku.
Dah, belum.
Sebelum kita mengakhiri majlis pada hari ini, kami menjemput semua hadirin untuk menyertai sesi bergambar. Diminta agar semua yang hadir dapat membuka kamera dan bersedia.
Oh dia. Oh dia kan aku. Masya Allah.